Oh, yes. Look who's in pole position. That's right, man. My family do a RCO. Family, big salute to you, man. We are live. Salute Doricio, man. Thank you for showing up, man. Thank you for your support. You already know how much I appreciate that, family. Real talk. And of course, welcome to another. Oh shit! Right behind Doricio, we got Young Ready Red. You feel me? Young Ready. Big salute to your family. Thank you for showing up, man. You know, if y'all was on the previous live before the 4th of July, I told y'all we was gonna skip that one. You know, my wife had plans for us that day. And she gave me that look when, she mentioned like, "Oh, I know you have your podcast on Thursday. I got some friends and stuff. They want us to come over." I'm like, ah. So anyway, because I like to stay consistent. You feel me? So thank you guys for understanding that, man. I spent some time with my wife and her friends and stuff like that. So, you got to make sure you do things for the wife, man. But we still back on track. You feel me? We back on track this Thursday night. And like I said, I'm grateful for you guys, man, and all your support, man. But of course, welcome to another episode of Bandog Talk with the Dog God. Brought to you by Formula One Canines. That's me, man. Frames, brains, and motors, man. Putting the best frames on dogs, putting the best brains in these dogs, and putting the best top tier motors, man. That's why I'm Formula One with this shit. I really put together my dogs like a Formula One race car. Like I really strive to have the best DNA, which is the best dog parts, right? Genetic dog parts to create the best high performance dogs in the world. That's my goal. That's my wave. That's my gift. So of course we're brought to you by Formula One Band Dogs, man. And like I always tell y'all, man, let's go ahead and take our sip. And we'll get into some of the tales of the yard. I always like to tell y'all what be going on out here dealing with these 30 plus killers that I'll be managing. So it's always something. As long as it's manageable by me, the one-man band, and ain't nobody dead or seriously injured, you know what I mean? Me and my wife can be the vet. We ain't got to go to our local vet and spend money. I'm good. That's a good week for me. If I'm able to doctor them up, that's a good week for me. You know what I'm saying? So this week, but before we do this, man, hey, Big Billy, man, big salute to you, Bill. You know what I mean? You already know I appreciate your support, Bill, off the top, like all y'all, man. But thank you, Bill, for showing up again, man. Big salute to you, family. But like I always tell y'all, man, get comfortable. Get your herbal sensation, roll that thing up. You know what I mean? The dog god, aka the coach. I retired from that. It's been man, I was an herbal sensation connoisseur. I'm not even going front. I was like a connoisseur. Like the best of the best Flavor Flav before it became Flavor Flav. I was Flavor Flav. I live out here in Northern California, the mecca of the shit. Humboldt County, all that. I live where the mecca, all the shit started. That's where I live. So of course, we was the first when it came to all the high end, top tier herbal sensations. And so I was in tune with the flavors when Cass was on like, they was in tune with like, OG Kush and Granddaddy Purple and stuff like that out here. There's like one strand that they was like, oh, I gotta have that, but I was always Flavor Flav. You know what I mean? That was me. So I was a connoisseur back then, and it's been like shit. I think I'm going on almost a year and a half, almost 2 years since I put a herbal sensation to my lips and took it and inhaled it in my lungs. And there's nothing against it. I have nothing against it. You know what I mean? So for you guys who do that, that's why I say roll y'all thing up, do y'all thing. But man, I done retired, man. And I don't even have an urge for it. Real talk, keep it real with y'all. I don't even have an urge for it. It's good. I'm clearer in my thoughts. I don't have anxiety and stuff, overthinking shit. Because a lot of times you be on that herbal sensation, and if you got a lot of stuff going on in your life, you be overthinking stuff. It kind of reverses how it used to feel when you didn't have a lot to think about. So anyway, but roll y'all thing up. I'm retired. You know me, I keep it simple. I'm on that KISS method, y'all. You know what I mean? I don't want to make a life harder than it is already. So I keep it simple. I got my little vodka with a splash of lemonade. You know what I mean? To go ahead and calm my edge from dealing with these killers every day that I deal with, and come on here, and talk to you guys. So big cheers to you guys, man. Big salute. I'm going to go ahead and take my sip, and I'll tell you, I'll give you some yard tales. That's refreshing right there. So, a big salute, Jerry. Man, welcome back, man. Welcome back. Thank you for your support, brother. So, man, let's see, man. What happened these past 2 weeks since we missed a week? What happened this week? Man, do we have anything crazy on the yard this week? Let's see. Okay, so I've pretty much bought the rest of my kennel setup. So I prep my yard over the years, right? It's been a process because I live on a hill. If y'all don't know, I live on a hill. I live on 6.5 acres, but my house, my property it's like a check mark, right? So I live on this mountain type, hill type, mountain type, and then my house is built on the top of my property, but then all my land goes down this hill into a creek, and then it goes up another hill. So it's like a check mark is how my property is positioned. So everything that I got to do to use my property, I got to tier it and shit. You know what I'm saying? Make steps. If you know anything about hill size, everything got to be tiered for you to use it because you got to flatten it out. So that was an expensive process. Okay. Very expensive process. However, I prepped it for the future for my kennels and stuff, for my dogs and stuff, because that's the only reason why I moved out where I moved is because I needed the land to do dogs. But I wasn't planning on living on a hill. It just happened that way based off of just situations and, wife wanting to be out here in the hills and, whatever. Anyway, so this week I bought my rest of my kennel set up. So I bought the rest of my kennels, and then, I already had everything prepped for the build out. So now everything's going to be built out. So this week, I have my pops come up, shout out to my pops, man. I think pops is 65, and he come out here, he always offering, hey man, I'll come out there. He don't like putting in the work, but it's just in our DNA. We workers. So he's like, man, whenever you need me to come out, just let me know. So I can always depend on my pops to come out. So he came out. So I bought all the kennels. Then I'm about to finish my whole build out on the kennel. So I already prepped the land, tiered everything for it, and now I got the kennels for it. And so, me and Pops is going to be building everything out, putting the pavers down, building all the kennels out to, house all the rest of the dogs. And then that's pretty much it as far as the dogs is concerned. You know what I mean? My whole vision from where I started will be complete. You know what I'm saying? So that'll be that. But as far as any confrontations with the dogs, everyone has been cool. I got this one female off of Jaws and Little Mama, and that's like one of my pit bully breedings that I did. And I moved her down to what I call the bitches barracks. That's the main area where I keep all my main bitches, the older bitches and stuff like that. And I got her paired up with another one of my Shaka times Africa bitch. Okay, now both of these bitches got jumped out of they packed, like jumped to the point of, like, they if I didn't move them out of there, they would have been dead type stuff. I had to, doctor them up, staple them up, antibiotic them up. So I put them together down where the adults are. But I have this particular bitch I'm talking about, this Jaws bitch, next to Holy Spirit, which is, she's like, out of my pit bull bitches, she's the number one, high driven, prey driven type bitch I got on the yard. She's number one. She's all about all the action. She's been about that. So even though she's old, got no teeth, she has 0 teeth, y'all. And not because she didn't have teeth. She bites everything. She's just crazy like that. So she done broke her teeth, done grinded her teeth down because she bite everything. Bite her kennel, bite metal bars, she don't bite people, but she bite other animals. But anyway, she has no teeth, but she's still the same bitch. Okay. So now I bring them down and I got them two together, right? I got that African Shaka bitch together with the Jaws and Little Mama bitch, right? So they're exiled from their pack, but I put them together down there. But this bitch from Jaws is trying to, go after Holy Spirit, and Holy Spirit, she don't care if you a puppy or not. You know what I'm saying? So, but they go through the kennel bars, but see, Holy Spirit don't have no teeth. So her knowing this, because at first she was intimidated by Holy Spirit, because Holy Spirit would still grab her, but she wasn't putting no real damage down because she gumming her ass. You know what I'm saying? So at first she was like, kind of like intimidated by it. You know what I mean? She'll try to, she'll try to fight back through the kennel, the kennel bars. She'll try to fight back, but I can see that she was scared of her because Holy Spirit don't care. You know what I mean? She don't feel no pain, nothing. That bitch is crazy. You know what I mean? And I wouldn't say she's crazy, but she just really with that type of action. She's always been that way. She don't care about pain. She like confrontation. So when them little bitches came over there, she like, look at these little bitches. I don't care y'all puppies. I'm gonna check y'all like I do anybody that's next to me. So, but long story short, right? Over time, it's been like what 2 weeks they've been like roommates in a sense, side by side, Holy Spirit with them puppies. Now, the Africa puppy, she's not like the Jaws puppy, right? The Jaws puppy, she got an aura about her that she want to start shit with everything first. The Africa bitch, she's smarter to understand, like, okay, that's a bigger bitch. I ain't trying to fight that bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like, she ain't trying to get in the mix with that. But that Jaws bitch, she over there, she don't, she trying to test Holy Spirit. Okay. So, but now she knows that Holy Spirit, when she bites, she can't really hurt her. Now it's like, okay, now she over there antagonizing Holy Spirit now. So now it's like anytime I come down, it's like a fucking melee in there. You know what I mean? Loud barking, the high pitched bark. I can't stand that high pitched bark. And that little bitch be on that high pitched bark. And then the Holy Spirit be over there like trying to get her, but she can't really get her. And then they be over there fighting through the kennel thing, right? So, but it only happens when I'm down there. So I tolerate it to a degree. It's like, y'all got to get along. But anyway, long story short, I'm hearing, at night, I'm hearing this fucking high pitched little bark at night. I'm like, bitch. And I know where it's coming from. I'm like, are they over there? Is she over there trying to like antagonize fucking Holy Spirit? Like this Jaws little puppy bitch, she over there trying to do this late at night. So I'm like, man, this can't be this bitch doing that, man. So I go down there, I do my cleaning, and I'm hearing that sound, that bark sound. I'm like, oh, that is that bitch. So I get done with what I'm doing, get done with cleaning up the dogs, feeding them, all that stuff. I'm in the house, and then I'm hearing that sound again, that high-pitched bark. I'm like, oh, this bitch is over here starting shit. So now this bitch is confident because she can't get hurt by Holy Spirit because she ain't got no teeth. So now she is on the flip side of the antagonizing. Before it was Holy Spirit antagonizing her because, like, look, little bitch, I'm the head bitch. I might be old and have no teeth, but I check everybody who's next to me. Now the little bitch knows that she can't get hurt by her getting bit through the kennel bar. So now she doing it, but she doing it at 9 o'clock at night. 10 o'clock at night, she doing the shit. So I go down there. I go down there and I grab that little bitch. I bring her up there to the top over here with another little bitch I got over here that got exiled out of her little pack. And fucking, I had to give her a little discipline, because I was like, come on, man, you can't be over here barking that night, waking me up, and then, you aggravating the other dogs because, the older dogs don't like that shit. The older dogs, they're in tune with the routine because dogs learn by patterns, you know what I'm saying? By reps. They learn by repetition. So they know what time it is. They know when we act up, when we don't act up. And when the adolescents start acting up, it makes the older dogs upset. And so now I'm getting, extra barking at night. And like I said, I live on a hill in a canyon. So that fucking sound travels. You know what I mean? So it's like, fuck, you making my neighborhood hot, bitch. So, man, I grab that bitch, man. I discipline her out. I take her out of there. First, I have to take her out of there. It's like, bitch, no. So now you getting bold and you thinking that you can test Holy Spirit. And, now because she's biting you through the thing and you're not getting mangled, you think you can antagonize her at 8 o'clock at night. So that's the only thing I had that was really outrageous, that I had to move that little bitch and I had to discipline her ass and move her up here. And it's temporary until we get everything built out. But she was starting to piss me off. And of course, they're related, right? Holy Spirit and her's related because that's her auntie. Because Jaws is Holy Spirit's sister. So I see, I see the genetic characteristics of that drive. It's just this bitch is only what I think 8 months. Jaws' daughter's probably like 8 months. She's a little young bitch. But I see, I see she's learning from, she learning from Holy Spirit. Like, okay, you want to be the top bitch, I'm not gonna back down from you unless you hurt me. Oh, you don't hurt me. You got drive, I got drive. You want to challenge me. I don't like being challenged. So I'm gonna challenge you back. And then now I'm challenging you back, and I can take your pain, then I'm gonna challenge you even at night. You know what I mean? Like I had to check that little young ass bitch, man. That bitch, I mean, almost, man. And like I said, this is not animal cruelty or nothing like that. I'm just telling y'all, just from the dog guy's perspective, I can't bite dogs because I'm not a dog. I'm a man. But I do know how to put a certain type of pressure as if I'm disciplining the dog, how dogs discipline each other. And I definitely gave her some discipline because she just was pissing me off, man. But other than that, you guys, we didn't have nothing crazy going on the yard these past 2 weeks. Looking forward to me and Pops finishing this last of this kennel build. So all my slots will be filled up. All the dogs will be in a position, in their kennel spots. And, we're there, my complete build out will be complete. It's just now just weathering the market. I already told you guys what my plan was with the phase 3, being that the market is what it is. I'm not whoring my DNA out. I got into this as a business from this side of it. Long time ago, it was a hobby. Now it was a business. When you're 6 figures invested plus, it's a business. So for me to do what I want to do as a business, I can't just be breeding dogs just to sell dogs for fucking nothing. For you know what I mean? Like I told y'all, like I'm not giving away my DNA. It's just I done spent too much money. Like I'm too good at what I do. So I'm not just like, oh yeah, let me just have these puppies out here and get all these people woofing about these dogs that they want, but they ain't got their money right. I can't do it. So, this year I decided not to breed, which of course, it's hurting my pockets because I still got to pay for these goddamn dogs. I still got to spend a lot of money on dog food, whatever else, buying kennels, etc., and not make no fucking profit. You know what I mean? So this year, take care of everything I got to take care of. The class of 2026, the new dogs, they're going to develop and be who they going to be. But, the up and comers that I got right now, I mean, shit, I got DNA. I got what I need to have. I just need to make sure that once the economy shifts, then I can get what I deserve, man. So other than that, man, it was a solid week, you guys. Nothing crazy. Thank the Lord. Nobody got hurt. I didn't have to staple nobody up. Thank the Lord. Didn't have to give nobody no antibiotics. Thank the Lord. Just looking forward to getting everything built out with the dogs, man, so I can move everybody to where they need to move to and just get more normalcy over here on the yard, and it's been so hot, so I haven't been letting the dogs out. And like I said, I just, been doing so much work as I just burnt out. It's like, by the time it cools off, it's like 8 o'clock, then it cools off. But by that time I'm already burnt out, taking care of the dogs, feeding them, cleaning up the kennels, and just doing all the stuff that I do with them every day. It's just like, man, I ain't got time. Y'all ain't coming out. When they cool off and shit, maybe we'll get out there and do some yard time. But right now, man, take this water, spray y'all down, take this food. It's man, the heat's too much, man. It's serious heat out here in Cali. But other than that, man, like I said, I like to let you guys know what we got going on out here. Nothing crazy this week or these past 2 weeks. I'm grateful for that. But, we're going to get into the topic at hand, with this lab talk. And I know last week, the week before last, we were talking about my AK-47 chopper bull herders. And, I know we kind of got off on a tangent. We didn't really go too deep into it. And I might matter of fact, I will revisit that one, and kind of get more deep into the recipe and the vision and all that stuff or whatever. But tonight I want to talk about my AR15 High Performance Bandog, and I'm gonna put that in the ticker. We're gonna get into the lab. And I know some of you guys are into the breeding part of your program, like you really take your breeding, um, seriously as far as when it comes to your program. So when we do these type of lab talks, this will kind of help you understand my process. You feel what I'm saying? In breeding these dogs and cooking up these type of performance dogs. You know what I mean? Young Ready Red, man. Let's see that Mao. I mean, she's adjusted pretty. She's adjusted pretty well, due to the circumstances of her being, like I said, my nephew really loved that dog. I mean, he spoiled her and all that stuff. He loved that dog. She's an inside dog. So, her now, I put her in a nice situation. She's in a 10 by 10. So she has her own space. She's not next to any dogs as far as like sharing a kennel wall or space. Like she's in her own space. So I made sure that, she don't have to deal with being antagonized by my dogs, because they will definitely antagonize her. But, she adjusted well. I think the first couple of days she was kind of on her little whine, and she was whining a little bit the first couple of days, which was I figured that she would. But being that I have multiple dogs, and I'm grateful to have multiple dogs for this reason, is that they teach the dogs. They teach each other. My dogs teach each other like the program. The energy of the dogs, however they communicate, they either get down or get put down in a sense from the other dogs. So she had to conform with the vibe on the yard, because my dogs are all in sync. They've every one of my dogs are in sync. Every one of them are very competitive. Every one of them are trying to be me. They're trying to be alpha. And so she couldn't be a whiner for long, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like she couldn't be a whiner for long. I made sure that I, got her out when I first got her for that first week. I got her out and spent some one-on-one time with her, just for her to kind of get to know my energy, because my energy is different than my nephew's. So I wanted her to understand my energy. And, she was intimidated by my energy at first, which is, it's understandable, because I have a very powerful energy when it comes to my dogs. And so she had to adjust to it. However, now, she looks forward to me coming into the kennel. She wants me to pet her. I do this thing where I put my finger in my dog's ears, like in their actual eardrum. It's like kind of like it grounds them out. Something that I've learned over the years just by doing it. Every one of my dogs love it. They love it. So when I first had her, I did it and she kind of yelped and shit, so that just showed me that my energy was too powerful for her. She couldn't, she didn't understand that power. Now she looks forward to me giving her that energy. Like she comes up to me, she wants me to pet her. I go, I put my fingers in her ear. She receives it, now. So she's doing good. I'm looking forward to using her. I'm looking forward to, once it cools off, to get her conditioned, because she's definitely not conditioned. My nephew has not worked her. She's kind of on the heavier side as far as what I would want her to be. Like I got my Kangal Snow White, even though she's a Kangal and she's furry, you can see the muscle in that bitch. That's because I feed her a certain type of way. And then when she got on the yard, I know what she likes. She liked to run. If I take that damn little bite little thing I got, and I just throw it, she don't play fetch, but if I take that damn, I don't know why she does it, but she does. But I know how to motivate my Kangal. I take that little bite thing, cushion, and I'll just pick it up and I'll just throw it anywhere. And she'll go and get it, and then she'll just run around the whole thing. She'll just put it in her mouth, and she'll just run around that bitch as fast as she can. I don't know why she do it, but she do it. And then she'll put it down and ignore it and do what she do. And I grab it again and I throw it. She'll go and get it. She'll just run around. So that's that's how I keep that Kangal bitch, tight and right and muscular out. So I got some work to do with the Malinois, man. But I'm grateful to have her though, Ready Red. So I know that's a long answer to your question, man. But she's doing good at the end of the day, man. I'm grateful to have her, man. Looking forward to what I'm gonna cook up with her and AK. Hey, and check this out. Hey, Bill, check this out, Bill. I know Bill can respect this one. So my nephew, right? My nephew, before he had to, relinquish his dog, he didn't want to, but he had to. And he, said, here, Unc, can you please take her? I was like, cool, whatever. He wanted to breed her to Shaka. He is begging me, like, please, Unc, breed her to Shaka. Even if you breed her to AK, breed her to Shaka. Because he wanted to create a bull herder that had like Shaka's drive and Shaka's like toughness. Like Shaka doesn't have no pain tolerance and shit. Like he don't feel no pain, and Shaka's a nut. He really about all the shit. So he wanted to do that breeding. So he's like, please, even if you do AK, like you got to do it with a Shaka, man. Please do it with a Shaka, because man, I always wanted to do that breeding. So he always wanted to do that breeding with Shaka and that Malinois. So I don't know. It might be something that I will do, just for my nephew. But he made sure he let me know that, like, yo, Unc, please do Shaka and that bitch. So who knows, you know what I mean? But definitely AK and that bitch is going down. That's for sure, for sure. So anyway, let me go ahead and give me another sip, man. We're gonna get into this lab talk. I just kind of want to let y'all into my vision when it comes to this particular Bandog called the AR15 High Performance Bandog. And just give you my notes from the beginning of the lab, while I was cooking up the dogs, to selling the dogs to consumers who have the dogs, getting assessments from them, also having my own now, that I actually have, my own, but the first litter I didn't keep any. It's so much demand I didn't get to keep none. As soon as I announced it, it sold out. And actually that was the fastest litter I ever sold out. Like the fastest. It sold out in 2 weeks. I announced it in 2 weeks, all the puppies were gone. Like I couldn't keep nothing out of it because everybody wanted it. And even after they were sold, people were asking me for the dogs. I even had an individual who was a high-end record executive, like big time record executive. Like on a level of like Nas, like that type of record executive, big time. Not no, just okay, he got a little local like major label shit. Okay, hit me up about one of them AR-15 Bandogs. It was a female. Now, when he wanted a dog, but it was for his mistress. But he wanted a dog because it's like, if I'm gonna buy a dog, I want it for me, but it's for his mistress. But the dog was already sold. You know what I'm saying? The one he wanted was already sold. But he was telling me, like, tell so and so that I'll pay double what he paid. You know what I mean? Like, I'll pay him double because I really wanted a dog. So that's the kind of demand I had for them AR-15 Bandogs when I first cooked them up. You know what I mean? But what we're going to talk about is the vision behind it. And then, of course, what the end result was, which is current, right? What the AR-15 Bandog has become. Okay, so that's what we're going to talk about tonight. We're going to get into the lab notes. Okay, so cheers to you guys, and I'm about to dig deep into it. Hey, Bill, yeah, and that's why he wanted it, Bill, because he knew what it was going to produce. Like, he's like, man, that Mal, he's like, Unc, that Mal, she got the drive and stuff, but she not durable, man. She can't take no pain. You know what I mean? Shaka, that boy Shaka could take anything. And he got the drive. And he got the look, so he always been a fan of Shaka, but that's what he wanted. He wanted to produce some puppies with that Malinois type drive, with Shaka drive, but that could take pain. So that's why he's like, man, I need that Shaka. You know what I mean? So that was his vision. I might do it for him. Who knows? We'll see. We'll see how the market treats me. when I cook up these type of dogs. You feel me? Like when I cook up these type of dogs and the market treat me accordingly, then I'll get in the lab and I'll cook up some top level type shit, and I'll continue to do it. But the market, the consumer got to respect what I'm cooking, because my shit ain't regular. You know what I mean? As we going to talk about with these AR15 band dogs, high performance band dogs, that's not a regular band dog. That's on a whole nother level. All right. So cheers to y'all. We're going to dig deep into the lab. Refreshing. All right. So the AR, let's talk about the beginning and how that AR15 band dog even came about, right? So if you guys follow me, you probably know who AR15 is by now, right? That is my only male to my foundation band dog recipe. My foundation band dog recipe. Which, if you don't know what it is, I took a buff dog, band dog, okay, legendary buff dogs. If you don't know who buff dogs is, Google them. They're out of business, but you can still Google them and you can see their dogs. I took their foundation, top tier band dog. His name is Red Bull. I had a straws. I bought 3 actually, but I used a straw, and I took him to my fucking craziest game pit bull bitch I produce. You already know who she is. Her name is Holy Spirit. Okay, real game, real with all the shit. Okay, Holy Spirit, functional, athletic, structure, everything, muscle. She got it all. That bitch got it all. And I was like, I'm gonna take that band dog. His name is Red Bull. Their foundation, which I had to beg for, damn near. And I took that straw and put it in my bitch I produced. Her name is Holy Spirit. And I produced AR15 and his sisters. He's the only male. Okay, AR15 was only male. All girls, only one male. AR15. Now, I don't know, and I'm giving you the genesis of this shit, y'all. I don't know what none of these dolls are going to be. Real talk. I don't know what AR15 is going to be, as far as what he's going to look like, what his temperament is going to be, none of that. I didn't know what his sisters were going to look like. I didn't know nothing because I didn't own Red Bull. I just had his semen. I seen pictures, but I never experienced the dog. I just know at the end of the day, I just knew at the end of the day, Red Bull was something that was a high up prize type of dog to buff dogs. That was their foundation for all their dogs, was Red Bull. Okay. And I had to finesse him with money to get him to sell me his foundation. So that showed me that there was value in Red Bull, but I never experienced him. I couldn't assess him. I don't know nothing. All I know is about Holy Spirit. So I'm like, okay, boom. I know Holy Spirit. I know her energy space. I know that buff dogs couldn't use a pit bull because in Colorado, their laws prohibited pit bulls. So they went a whole different route. So I'm going to take their foundation and go the route that they couldn't. I'm going to add a pit bull, which is my own, which is Holy Spirit. And then I produce AR15 in everybody. So now we got AR15, right? So as AR15 is developing, I actually had AK around the same time. They're the same age. Okay, AK and AR15. So them two grew up together. They were buddies, right? They shared a kennel next to each other. They did yard time with each other, the whole 9 yards. And they were very competitive. What I mean by that is everything one did, the other one did. They were very competitive with each other. Now, AR15 had a different type of competitive energy than AK. This is now I'm starting to learn who AR15 is, what I produced. I'm learning as he's growing up with AK. Okay, AK is very driven for what he wants. That's who AK always was as a young puppy, and he's still the same way. What he wants, he's driven to the max, but it's only for what he wants. AR15 is driven, period. Okay, period. That means whatever he's on that like stirs his drive up. Oh, he's with all of it, and he's going to the maximum. right? So over time, as I'm watching AR-15 develop, his drive for like the playing in the games started to change. It started to be like, I'm not motivated for the games anymore, Dad. This is what AR-15 was telling me as he was getting older, about 1.5 years old. I ain't motivated for the games and shit that me and AK is playing. That's cool. Was cool earlier, but now I don't, you know, I don't like AK's energy. I don't like that AK want to compete with me. So now I'm going to antagonize AK. So now we're roommates next to each other. We was cool. Now, anytime AK come near my fence, I'm gonna bite him through the fence. Or anytime he comes near close, I'm gonna hit him in the head with my paw. I'm gonna hit him in the head with my paw. Or when we go outside and we do the yard time and you want us to hit the spring pole, because we used to like do that shit, but instead of hitting the spring pole, I'm gonna hump AK. I'm gonna make AK mad at me to where he want to nut up and we're gonna fight. So then I started to see the shift in who AR-15 was. AR-15 wasn't about the games anymore. Like, he didn't want to play the games. He wanted the actual real combat. He was antagonized. Like, he was changing the energy of the combat. Like, he wanted to be combative. He wanted to be like his mama. I don't know his daddy. I can't say who his daddy was. Maybe his dad was the same way, but I know his mama was with the shits. Holy Spirit was with that, right? His uncle Shaka's with the shits. So now I'm starting to see AR-15 go toward like the real type of drive, like the prey drive, right? He didn't want to do the toy work in the spring pole. He didn't want that anymore. Matter of fact, he didn't even want to look at that no more. Before, he would attack it, go after it, he'd have fun with it, he'd hang on it, do all the shit that was all that, that fun and game stuff. Nah, he wanted to get at AK. So then I couldn't let them be with each other anymore. I had to separate them, even as far as roommates side by side. Because I knew that AR-15 wanted other shit. He wanted to fight. You know what I mean? Now, because I've groomed them, and y'all know about my pack experiment, because I want to make sure my yard is manageable for me. AR-15 still understands that I don't allow that. Even though his drive is showing him that he want to fight, I don't allow that fight. So it will never get to that point, because once I saw the energy, I moved them out. I separated their energy, right? Boom. So now AR-15 is growing. He's about 2. That's when I decided to do my first breeding with AR-15. He's 2 years old. He's looking good. I'm starting to see the drives in the dog. He's looking amazing, right? He's looking great, looking good, handsome dog, good muscle tone. When my conditioning and stuff that I do that with all my dogs. I got this hill. I got an ATV. I run them up and down the hill. Okay, I do the flirt pole. I did back then. I was doing the tires with the weight harness, so I was doing that with him and AK. Him and AK was doing the same conditioning workout. But one thing I noticed about AR-15 versus AK is fast, but AR-15 is faster. AK got agility, right? AK is a freaking nature, so we're not knocking AK to compare AR-15, but there's levels to the shit. I'm just giving y'all. I'm letting y'all understand the formula. We're talking about the recipe, why this has become the AR-15 High Performance Bandog. Okay, but I do AR up the hill and down the hill 3 times up, 3 times down. That's my conditioning for them. And AR-15 is he's fast. Even when he's tired, he's still going full speed, up the hill, down the hill, up the hill, down the hill, fast. I'm like, yo, this dog is an athlete. Okay. An athlete. AK is a super athlete. This guy is an athlete by nature. So I'm like, okay, I like this. I like that. I like that. Okay. AR-15, you're looking good, right? I like that. Okay. So, what am I going to do with you now? Okay. Now, there's nobody other than my wife, me, my son, maybe my pops will come down every now and then, that will go and see AR, right? All my dogs, but we're talking about AR in general. So we're talking about the man drive. But AR is so comfortable with himself. There's certain dogs you got to send their energy, right? AR understands if you're a threat or not, right? He knows my wife, right? But my wife don't see him often. But he knows she's not a threat, so he don't nut up on her or nothing like that. He don't. My pops, he come through, whatever, every now and then. He worked with me. So he's seen my pops, but he don't nut up on my pops. So he's got a very nonchalant if you're not a threat, I'm cool. Like he ain't gonna nut up on you, he ain't gonna bark at you or nothing. He's just kind of like a dog that's just like very confident in who he is, and he don't gotta be rah rah rah. You know what I'm saying? Like I got a dog named Cowboy. He's rah rah rah. He don't care who you are. He gonna fucking let you know at the end of the day, like, bro, I don't know you. I'm a fucking, I'm gonna check you. Certain dogs are that way, but AR-15 is very confident, and he don't be checking everybody because he does like he don't feel you a threat. He ain't gonna be acting crazy. That's just how he is. So as far as his people drive, I'm not necessarily seeing that. The man drive, I'm not necessarily seeing that because people can come up to him, and if he don't think that you're a threat, you can pet him. Like he's that type. See what I'm saying? So I'm looking at the athleticism. I'm like, okay, man, great athletic dog. Okay, he got a lot of prey drive because he don't want to do no toy shit. He only want to get after dogs, and he does that. That's what he don't. He want dogs. He want other dogs. So I see that all the time. Man drive. I'm like, okay, well, he can tolerate. My wife. He tolerates me, of course, because I'm his master. And then my dad comes every now and then. He tolerates them or anybody else who comes through. He doesn't. He's not over. He's none of that. He's a very confident dog. So I'm like, okay, who am I gonna mix him with now that he's 2? Okay. Now that I have a band dog, I'm starting my band dog program. Who am I going to mix him with, right? So then I have Tigress. Now I'm going off of how Buff Dogs started their band dog program. Okay, because that's who introduced me to band dogs was Buff Dogs. So I'm going off of their blueprint, but they didn't have the pit bull. I added the pit bull. They didn't. But they were adding bulldog to their shit, and then they added whatever else they added, Old English Bulldogs, whatever else they did. That's on them. But I'm just going off of what they were doing, what I knew I had that I could do. So I added the pit bull, created AR-15 and his sisters, and then I got Tigress, which is my American Bulldog. So I'm like, okay, but damn, who am I going to take? I'm going to do what Buff Dogs did, and I'm going to go with the Bulldog, okay, American Bulldog type. And with Tigress, right, she didn't, as far as what I was looking for earlier on when I was buying my American Bulldogs, I was wanting the bullier type, and she's not the bully type. She's very athletically built type, you know what I'm saying? And the breeder told me that too. So, I wasn't like shocked that she turned out more athletically built. But what I was like, okay, well, if I'm gonna make a band dog, okay, which that was my first band dog after my foundation, which is AR-15 and his sisters that I was going to produce. I was like, okay, I'm going to just follow, what Buff Dogs do. I'm going to take it to a Bulldog, American Bulldog. And I had Tigress. So like, okay, I'm going to breed him to Tigress. That's why I said, I'm going to breed him to Tigress. Now with Tigress, what I liked about Tigress, even though I didn't really care much about her phenotype, so I wanted more of a bullier bulldog. I really was impressed with her drive and her ability to breathe because I had a lot of bad luck with my American Bulldog type dogs. Big Bertha, if y'all know about Big Bertha, she was built the way I wanted her to be built. And Tigress and Big Bertha have the same daddy, which is the reason why I bought both of them bitches, because of the daddy, TKO. But Bertha, she had a lot of drive, but she just wasn't built for performance. She was built bully. She was muscle on top of muscle, but her overall performance genetics was not there. You know what I'm saying? Like she couldn't breathe, she couldn't cool herself off. So she ended up dying because of that. You know what I mean? Heat stroke. But see, Tigress, on the other hand, she wasn't built bully, but she was shredded up. Very, very, very athletic. And she had a drive like Holy Spirit in them. And that's what impressed me about the bitch. I didn't really care about her structure too much, but I like the fact that bitch can breathe, and she was with all the shit, right? She wanted all the smoke from all the dogs. She's always trying to get at all the dogs. You know what I'm saying? Like she got to be by herself. She can't be paired up with another dog because she want to fight. You know what I mean? So I'm like, okay, I kind of like you. And the fact that she can breathe was very impressive to me too. So she had the muscle tone like a pit bull. She had the tuck. You know what I'm saying? She had the extreme front like the American Bulldog, but her muzzle was a little bit different. Wasn't all the way pushed in, but she can breathe, and she was really with it all. Athletic, can go in the heat, clear breathing. And that's really what impressed me the most, the fact that she can breathe this real clear, and she was all about the action. So I'm like, okay, I got to take care of the AR-15, because if I'm trying to produce high performance band dogs, not just performance band dogs, high performance band dogs, I have to match the right dogs together to produce a higher level of performance. Okay. I still want extreme features, but I want them to be correct. Okay. So I'm like, I had to take AR-15 to Tigris. Like that was like my, okay, that's the one. That's the cook up. Okay. AR-15 to Tigris. That's what we're going to do. Okay. Now, I don't necessarily know what the outcome is going to be. Like, I really don't know. It's all an experiment. It's all, I'm crossing my fingers, and, like, I'm learning AR-15. I'm learning Tigris. Like, I don't know what I'm going to get. I didn't even name them AR-15 band dogs yet. I'm just like, okay, what am I going to do? Like, what's going to be my next band dog? After I already produced AR-15 and his sisters, what's next? So then I'm like, okay, cool. We're going to do AR-15 to Tigris. Now, being that I assist AR-15, AR-15 is structurally correct. He's got a lot of correct functional features. What I mean by that, he's got great angulation in his rear legs. That's why that boy can jump like a kangaroo. He's got the tuck. He's got a deep rib cage. Like I assess, frames, brains, and motors. Y'all hear me talk this shit all the time. Frames, brains, and motors. So I'm looking at my dogs in that way. So I'm seeing the great angulation. He's not extreme in the front. His daddy's more extreme in the front, right? Being that, his daddy's got more of the bulldog phenotype, which is Red Bull. He's not as extreme in the front. He's tighter in the front. Man, I mean, AR-15 a beautiful dog, man. Beautiful dog. He don't have too much excessive skin. It's like he's kind of got like a semi bulldog face, but not squished in. So anyway, I'm looking at the aesthetics, the phenotype of AR-15. And then I'm looking at Tigris phenotype. And she's got more of the bulldog face. She's got the extreme front, but she don't got the extreme rear. She's really tight in the muscles. She got, it's like I'm looking at, she got a deep rib cage. Like I'm looking at the rear, her angulation in her rear isn't as good as AR-15. So I'm like, this is the lab notes. So this is the beginning, y'all. All right. So I'm looking at the lab notes. I'm like, okay, well, what's going to happen out of this? And, we already love our friend Hybrid Vigor. So we know we're getting Hybrid Vigor. So I know I'm getting better than what I started with. Okay, I know I'm getting better than AR-15. I know I'm getting better than Tigris by bringing these two type dogs together. I know, because I'm getting Hybrid Vigor. So I get that, but I'm not necessarily knowing what's going to come out of this. I'm not necessarily knowing what the temperament is going to be. I'm not necessarily knowing if the on-off switch is going to be effective. I'm not necessarily knowing if the man drive, prey drive, all the drives is going to be there. Okay, I'm not knowing all of this. This is still very experimental for me, but I do know what I see. I do know that. I do know that Tigris, even though she's an American bulldog, she can breathe. I need that. I need that. I need them to breathe, man, because I breathe high performance dogs. I got to have a good intake. Okay. What good is a dog that performs that can't cool himself off or cool herself off? What good is it? It's nothing. And if you've had dogs like I've had that were bred for performance that died on you because they can't cool themselves off, then you understand how important it is, right? In your lab notes, you understand why you would make sure that's important. So I made sure that was important. I saw that in Tigris. She can breathe, she can perform, she can be in the heat, all the shit. Boom, I got breath. AR-15, I don't got no issues with him with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's fast, he can run. He's a total athlete. You know what I'm saying? And he was produced because of Hybrid Vigor, so of course he's going to be better. So now I'm like, okay, what are we going to get? I cook them up, y'all. Now, I didn't sell nothing to the public from my first band dog breeding because I needed that. And I told you how important it is for you guys, if y'all doing y'all breedings and stuff like that, how important it is to, if you can, keep keep every one of them. If you're breeding, you keep them. Okay, because you don't know which one of those dogs will be the best producers out of the ones that you just produced, right? You don't know that unless you test them all. So anyway, I didn't sell anything other than, blessing somebody who was my, one of my, possible kennel partners. I blessed him with one of those AR-15 Bandogs. I told y'all about that. Other than that, I kept everything. But this time around, I didn't even know what I was going to sell the dogs for, because it's like, okay, these dogs aren't going to be papered. They're very experimental in the lab. Okay, I was experimenting with my genetics. Okay, I've never sold a Bandog to the public. I don't even know what the prices will be. I don't know shit. I don't know nothing about it. I'm just like, okay, I'm doing what my gift is, right? I'm producing, right? I'm making my own dogs. So I'm blindfolded with this particular breeding. I'm just going off of statistics, what I've written down from AR-15 genetic characteristics, statistics, Holy Spirit's genetic characteristics, statistics. Boom. Mixing together, what we gonna get? I don't know. So then I get this litter. I think I get how many? I get two males and then 3 females. 3 females. Let me see. 1, 2. Is it 3 females? Yeah, I think it's 2 males and 3 females I get. Okay. I think that's what it is. Okay. Anyway, I only get 5. And these puppies, I don't necessarily know what they're gonna be. Just like I didn't know what they were gonna be when I did my first one with AR that produced AR-15, right? I didn't know none of that. So as these puppies are developing, right, I'm seeing, how they interact with each other. And of course, I know the drive is going to be there because both parents have a lot of drive. So I'm seeing them compete with each other. And I'm like, okay, that's a given. That should be a no-brainer. So that's there. But as they're developing, I'm starting to see the phenotype, which is what they're looking like. And I'm seeing some like what is that? What's coming out of that mix of, let's say, AR-15 being a Neapolitan Mastiff, German Boxer, American Bulldog, Game Pit Bull, all evenly distributed in AR-15. Okay, all of them are in order but equally distributed genetically. So that's 25, 25, 25, 25. I mean, that's equally distributed genetically. And then I got full-blooded American Bulldog with Tigers. So I'm seeing these puppies grow, and I'm like, what the hell? And the male, I mean, all of them were amazing, man. But like I had a female in that litter that was like, she was a big bitch, man. And she was like almost like a pink purple color. Like the colors that they produce amazing colors, man. And I'm not a color guy, but I know that consumers, they like colors. But anyway, that litter between AR-15 and Tigers produced some amazing colors. So I had a female that was a big ass bitch, and she was like a pink purple color. You know what I mean? But she was a big bitch, and she had big ass bones, and she had a nice structure. She wasn't bowled out, but she had like a wide chest, and then her rears matched her chest, her shoulder spread. And then she didn't have no underbite. Man, it's a beautiful bitch, man. And then they threw a pie bitch. And then some, man, amazing. But anyway, the litter was so amazing that when I posted them up, like I said, it was the fastest litter I ever sold. 2 weeks. As soon as I post them up, people was hitting me up. Oh, I gotta get that. What is that? Well, I gotta get that. How much you want? I was like, man, $2,000. I didn't even know what they even charge for them things, y'all. I'm like, 2,000. Give me 2,000. No ifs, ands, no, but coach, any better deal like that? It was just, okay, that's it. It was like that. On dogs, I was in my lab. I had a vision, AR-15, Tigers. Okay, this is what I'm gonna get. Boom. The males though were amazing too. Okay, I had a red male, all red male, amazing. But then I had one that was a yellow brindle. Okay, a yellow brindle, big ass male. He was a yellow brindle, man. I ain't never seen no yellow brindle before. Yellow. Yellow with the black stripes. Okay? With the white. Yellow brindle was he. But the structure of him was just crazy. Thick ass bone. He kind of had more of a bulldog type of face. Thick ass neck. You know what I mean? Wide. He had a wide front but straight. So shout out to AR-15. See, AR-15, right? Tiger's gonna give him that wide spread because that's what she got. She got the wide spread with that American Bulldog, but AR-15 straightened that shit out with no dysplasia. So he had the wide spread like Tigers, but with straight leg. So he had no dysplasia like most of them American Bulldogs got. Shoulder dysplasia, elbow dysplasia in the shoulders in the front, where they kind of bow out a little bit when they walk. You know what I'm saying? That's that dysplasia and shit like that, which is cool when it's stacking. But when you over there working them dogs, you know, it could be a problem because they can pull their shoulders out of socket. You know what I mean? So AR-15 tightened that shit up. You know what I mean? So he had the wide stance, but no dysplasia. And what they did, their genetics did is it made an even front and an even back. So it wasn't like the front was wider than the back. The back matched the front. You know what I'm saying? So it was even. So this boy was big, huge. But you couldn't pinpoint like, okay, AR-15 is the dad. They don't look like AR-15. Tigers for the mom, they don't look like Tigers. They was like their own dogs, all of them. Okay. And then there was one that was smaller, right? The one of the males that was smaller. But he was dope too. You know what I'm saying? Like just how he was built. And he was more bulldog. Like he looked more bulldog in the face, but his built was just like real dope. You know what I mean? So, but anyway, I didn't know what I had. I just put $2,000 on that price tag, y'all. I sold them dogs out that fast, and people was like really wanting them dogs. And I was like, damn, I only got 5. And they sold out just that fast. You know what I'm saying? Because people just they never seen that them type puppies before. And then the type of breeding that I did, motherfuckers wasn't cooking up like that at that time. You know what I'm saying? Like a Neapolitan Mastiff, German Boxer, American Bulldog, Game Pit Bull. His name's AR-15 that looked like AR-15. They ain't never seen that before. But just all those different breeds, it intrigued people. Like, yo, you bred all 4 of them type of dogs and produced AR-15 and he looked like that. And then I got Tigress, she got that extreme look, but she muscular. That's a sexy bitch. So they liked her. So the fact that I took that and bred them together, and then the puppies looked at the way they look, man. Hey, y'all, that shit sold out 2 weeks. So now it's like I couldn't even get nothing off that litter, because like I said, it's a business for me. So even though I breed for myself, I need to be able to pay for everything that I'm doing too, because it costs a lot of money to do what I do. So of course I'm, hey, I can breed that later on for myself. I only got 5. I ain't got enough for everybody who wanted them. So I sold those out, y'all. Okay. Now, my consumers, one in particular, okay, and I mentioned his dog before. Okay, that's the red male. His name is Rum. Red Rum, he calls him. That's his name, full name, Red Rum. He is a dog man like myself. He has a program. He has multiple dogs. He's been in the dogs for many moons. He's serious about his dog shit. Okay. Spend serious money on his dogs. Okay. Been into the game, pit bull, all the dog game, pit bulls. Like he a real solid foundation type dog man, performance dog man. Okay. He knew about, him and his partners knew about buff dogs. That's why he reached out to me, because he knew about buff dogs, and him and his partners was fans of buff dogs back in the day. So they knew what I had with Red Bull and AR-15. So they were interested just off a GP of me having buff dog blood and them being into band dogs and all the performance dogs and all that shit. Okay. So he reached out to me, was like, yo, you got buff dog's blood? I'm like, yeah, I do. Okay, man, like we go back, me and my peoples go back. We really into that stuff. Like and I like the way you cooked it up. So, can you guarantee, he talking that shit, that guarantee. I was like, bro, at the end of the day, all I know is when I cook up dogs, they're gonna have maximum prey and maximum man drive. That's all that I'm guaranteeing on my end. Maximum prey, maximum man drive. That's it. Okay. And you know I got the DNA. You know I showed you I got the DNA. So if you want that DNA, which you can't get nowhere else, y'all. You can't get that buff dog DNA nowhere else but from me. If you want that, I can guarantee you these dogs will have maximum prey, maximum man. Other than that, I was in the lab cooking. I don't know what they're gonna be. Okay, because this is my first cook up with it. So anyway, because he was intrigued for the fact that I had that buff dog blood, and he liked tigers, he gambled. He spent the 2,000. Okay. Now, all my other consumers, honestly, my other consumers, they just like the puppies. I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. Okay. They like the puppies. They bought the puppies because they liked it. They liked the way they look. Oh, that's a cool puppy, y'all. That's it, 2,000. Boom. So I don't even know what happened to that. And my dude that got that red one, he be asking me like, yo, we gotta find homeboy who bought that yellow brindle mill because he was big. And I gotta look through all my DMs and stuff. I gotta see if I can find them or whatever. But anyway, I knew that red one was going to a real dogman who was going to like use him for what I built him for, because he has a lot of dogs and they're all performance dogs. So I knew that, but of course I didn't know what was going to develop. Big salute to you, Show Enough. I didn't know what these dogs were going to develop into because this is me in the lab. I just cooked them up. I didn't even get to keep one to assess myself. Fast forward. The individual that I was talking about who has red rum, the male, he's the one I keep in contact with. And I mentioned this to you guys before about how at 6 months he was wanting, he was expecting that dog to act like his game pit bulls, his other band dogs that he has, his Rottweiler. Like he got like, what I'm saying? He like me with the shit. He got a collection of real dogs, killer dogs. Like he like me. You know what I'm saying? That's why I respect him a lot. Because him and I am the same. Like we really into these type of dogs. And he has the dogs too. He's not just into them. He actually has them dogs. So he can really assess the different breeds and all that and how they act and all the shit. So at 6 months, he kind of like, made a little joking, sly remark, man. You know what I'm saying? Like he made a little sly joking remark to me, man. He's like, Coach, man, this dog you sold me is kind of soft, man. And I know he was joking, but he still was being slick with it. You know what I'm saying? And I just told him, I was like, look, brother. I said, look, brother. When I told you I put on-off switches on my dogs? He's like, yeah. And when I told you when you bought my dog that do not do nothing with that damn dog for the first year, but just love on it? He's like, yeah. You know that you put my dog that I sold you, which is now your dog, in an environment of hostility, because he feeds them raw and stuff. So that brings out a lot of primal instincts in your dogs when you feed them raw meat, bloody meat type shit. He feeds his dog raw. You have this young dog that I gave you, which left my house with my wife loving on him, with his pack and his understanding and their dynamics of how they fight and they understand, but he's matched evenly. He's not with any older dogs. None. He's with his peers, his brothers and sisters. They're all his age. So if they fight each other and they fuck each other up, it's not going to be like if a dog that's a year old or 3 years old bites you and fucks you up, right? So I said, look, because I knew he was joking, but I had to just remind him. I was like, look, man, the dog that I sold you has a brain. That dog is smart. That's why he stays away in the corner and allows them big dogs to eat the raw when you put it out there in the middle. Everybody's going crazy, and he just stays and waits. And when them other dogs get on him, he don't try to fight them. You know why he does that? Is because he's got a brain. I told my brother, I told him that shit. I said, he has a brain. I put that in that dog genetically. He understands that he's outmatched. Why would he nut up against a dog that can kill him? Why would he do that? So I said, look, man. I said, look, brother. what I tell you about that dog, do not worry about that dog until he's about a year old. Let him be. You know, that's all. You see how chill he is, and he's good with your babies. And he got baby girls, and you know, his wife loves him, the kids love. Nurture that. I told him straight up and down. Nurture that. Don't try to turn that dog on at 6 months. Okay? Don't. Because it's in the dog to be with the shits. Because his daddy's with the shits and his mommy's with the shits. Okay? Period. It's in the dog to be with all that competitive rah-rah that you see with your older dogs who's trying to punk him because it's chow time. So he's like, all right, coach, whatever, you know, all right, coach, I got you, you know what I mean, whatever. And I already told y'all the stories with him as he started to develop, as he started to understand who he was. I'm talking about the dog. Understand his strengths and abilities at 1 year old. Then when they were challenging him and he challenged back and he saw how superior his genetic abilities were over them older dogs, game pit bulls, Malinois, Rottweilers, whatever he had, the puppy started to get confident in who he was. Because now when he was like, no, I'm not going to bow down because I'm as big as you, even though I'm younger, but I'm still big as you. I'm not going to bow down. And then when I do bite on you, you know, you curl up. Oh, now I see that I can combat you when you combat me. And that's what started to happen with the Bandog that he bought, which happens to be an AR15 Bandog, okay, which starts to get its name and its identity now, okay, the AR15 Bandog. So I don't have the dogs. I sold them all. I can only assess that first breeding with my brother who got them out there in New York, okay? Now he's telling me, because he just like he told me he thought he was soft. Now he's telling me the situations that are happening where he fights his game dog for whatever reason. Now, I guarantee prey drive and man drive. Maximum prey drive and man drive is what I guarantee out of that particular brand of dog, which is the AR15 Bandog. Okay? I guarantee that. Prey drive and man drive. Now, my brother, which is my consumer, okay? He's not my real brother, but, you know, we family now, okay? But anyway, he has the dog. He's starting to see the maximum prey drive, just like I saw in AR15 and like I saw in Tigers. He's starting to see it now against his game dogs. Now, of course, that AR15 Bandog is going to be bigger than that game dog that he has. But, you know, the game dog is with all the game dog shit that game dogs are with. But that game dog does not have the power, does not have the strength, okay, of that AR15 Bandog. So when that game dog is fighting that AR15 Bandog and he's biting that AR15 Bandog, but then that AR15 Bandog bites the game dog, it's a different type of bite. It's a different type of bite. And then based off of the genetics and the hybrid vigor that is produced from that breeding that I cooked up that produced that dog named Red Rum, that he named him Red Rum. Okay. Ideal name, perfect name, happen to be perfect name for that dog now. Okay. That dog understands that he likes the combat like his daddy likes the combat, like his mommy likes the combat. That dog now understands he likes the combat. He gets excited over the noise. And then there is a confrontation to where luckily my consumer, my client, he was there to break it up. But it was so much damage that he had to save his game dog. He's luckily saved him. Had to take him to the vet, saved him. Okay. That was the first incident. Now I'm taking my notes because now I get to assess what I created through him. Because all my other consumers are, I don't know what they're doing with their dogs. They got them as pets, which is good because I just really built them for protection. Personal property protection dogs. That's why I cooked them dogs up. So As long as they're good and not calling me like, hey, this dog trying to kill us, this dog, as long as my consumers ain't calling me on that, if they're not ever using that dog for combat, perfect. But I know that they're going to protect the family. That's pretty much, I know they're going to do that. But if they're doing great with the on-off switch, they're good with the kids, the family, I'm so happy. However, I'm dealing with a dog man like myself who have other type of dogs who are high performance type of working dogs that have prey drive, etc., man drive, etc. So now I'm getting to gauge my dog to other dogs that are performance dogs through him, because I don't have one. He has it. And we communicate. Still to this day, we communicate. Okay, good friends. Anyway, that's the first incident he tells me about. He's like, man, coach, that boy Rum damn near almost killed my game dog. I'm like, what? And like I said, I'm not encouraging none of that. I don't encourage this shit. Okay, because I know I deal with killers every day. Okay, I've dealt with a lot of stuff that cost me a lot of money and even close to losing dogs' lives. I don't like that. I don't condone that, because I know the outcome of that is money and loss of dogs. So I don't condone that on my yard. So I don't encourage that even with my consumer, even though he might like it, because he likes that shit, by the way. I don't, because I know how much money I've done lost in dogs that I don't like that. I don't like taking L's. And I know that when you have dogs that are like that, especially on your yard in the area, they're a part of your program, you don't want to lose them. You don't want to spend the money. So I don't allow that. But my consumer, he's, he getting to see what he bought, right? He getting to see what he bought and he like it. You know what I'm saying? He don't like the damage that it caused him, but he liked what he's seen in the young dog. So then fast forward, right? We're talking about the AR15 Bandog. We're talking about what that dog is and what it is today now, because I have them today. So I'm taking y'all through the process from inception to thought, to drawing it on paper, to production, to somebody who has it, who's actually seeing the dog develop. I'm taking y'all through the steps. Okay. So then fast forward, he hits me up again. And this one I didn't expect. And I told y'all about this one with the Mal. Okay. And my boy had Malinois. Now, you know about the Mals, and I got one too. Now I'm learning about the Mals, you know what I mean? So I'm learning about them firsthand. I like to learn about my dogs firsthand. But he had one, and these dogs are very, high drive and etc. But they're not really built for that type of shit. That type of combat that I built them AR-15 Bandogs for. And I guess them two got into a scenario, right? The red rum, the AR-15 Bandog that I sold my partner, and then his Malinois male that's older. But see, he wasn't there. He had, somebody, I guess watching his house. He told me, he's like, hey, man, I had somebody watching my house. I was just gone for a couple of days and I had somebody babysit my house. But then, she hits me up and like, hey, there's a problem. Your dog, one of your dogs is dead. So he goes over there and then, he tells me that, Rum killed his Malinois. And I told y'all about that. Like, killed the Malinois. But not only did he kill the Malinois, but he ate the dog too. Okay. So I'm like, what? But see, he's, salute to him, man. He taking it like a champ, but like he's actually excited about it, even though he's losing his dogs. He's just like he's seeing what he like he's seeing what he wanted to buy. Like he's seeing that, and that's what he really wanted. Like he's like coach, like I ain't gonna front, like bro, like Rum, like he become my favorite dog. I'm like, bro, you almost lost your pit bull, and then you just lost your Malinois, and then not only did you lose your Malinois, but he's eating your Malinois, and that's because he's always been feeding that dog raw. So all those dogs get fed raw. So just understand why that Bandog is eating the dog, because that's what he's thinking it's like it's a meal or whatever. But he killed the dog and then was eating it. So when he get there, the dog's half eaten. Okay, and it's Rum eating the dog. So he's like, what the hell? So he buries the dog, the Mal, buries it. And then, of course, whatever, goes on his way. But he tells me about it. I'm just like, yo, bro, you creating something crazy over here, man. I told you. I said, man, bro, just stay on top of him because you don't want to encourage this shit. And this is what I'm telling my client. Don't encourage this shit, bro, because you'll end up having all your shit dead because you're encouraging it because you like, whatever. You like that type of combat shit, but you're going to be losing dogs because now he's he's slowly, as he's maturing, coming into himself. He's coming in, just like how I told you how AR-15 started to change. Okay, now he's starting to see his dog change. He's starting to see that maximum prey drive and that maximum, not the man drive yet, but he's starting to see the prey drive I put in them dogs. He's starting to see it because AR-15 is the same way. Excuse me, you guys. AR-15 is the same way, and so is Tigers. They got prey drive that's on another level. So he hits me up a week later and says, bruh, you know what? Bruh, I go outside and Rum is on the porch with the fucking skull of the Malinois. So then Rum goes, finds where he buries the dog, digs him up, takes the skull out, eat all the flesh off of it, whatever he was doing with it, whatever it was. He said it was only the skull of the dog. Took the hair off of it, as you know, just doing it like a bone, but had the skull of that Malinois on the porch. Okay. So now, you know, I'm taking my notes as he's telling me this about these AR-15 Bandog, because he has it. I don't have it. I have the daddy, which I keep under wraps, right? Under strict structure. I don't allow that to happen on my yard, right? I have all these Tigers, which is under structure, right? When they have their yard time, they're by themselves. So they don't have that opportunity to give me a problem, right? But he has his dogs in a community where they interact. So there's where he's having his problem. I know better because I know my dogs. I know I'm not going to be trying to break up a fight between these dogs because I know it's going to set it off. I know that's how they are. You know, AR-15, he's looking for that. You know what I'm saying? So why would I tempt him to be, okay, yeah, I know I can't get it in, but, you know, as soon as daddy kind of turn his back, we're going to get it in. You know, I'm not trying to break up no fights, and I'm not trying to spend the money. But on the other hand, on his end, he's underestimating what I sold him. Because, you know, he's still remembering how he was at 6 months old when he didn't understand that, you know, the dog is being smart. Like, he ain't testing no fucking full-grown dog. He's only 6 months. He know better than that. Okay, he's using his brain. Like, I can't fight y'all. Y'all kill me. So I'm going to stay in the back. Y'all can have the food. I'm going to stay in the cuts. Now the dog is pissing vinegar. You know what I'm saying? Over a year old, pissing vinegar. He almost killed the game dog. Now he got a full kill on his belts. Now the dog is like turned up. Okay, now the dog is turned up, you guys. Okay, and I'm taking my notes now because he has the dog and this dog is turning up. Not only is the dog is turning up in his genotype, his temperament, his drive, but the dog is big. Dog is bigger than his daddy. Okay, bigger than AR-15, and he's young, like a year and a half. Big head, big thick body. Okay, so the dog has got size on him like a motherfucker. I'm like, yo, that dog is huge. Okay. So I'm taking my notes for this AR-15 Bandog through my client. Then he hits me up again, y'all. Then he hits me up again. He's like, Coach, I come home and I have my, because he got people helping him with his dogs, right? I have my partner watch my dog, and he had his dog over there too. And, I keep all the dogs separate when I'm out of town working, whatever. I keep all the dogs separate. And, my partner hits me up, was like, yo, it's a problem. Come home quick. It's a problem. So he said he rushed from where he is. He come home and he says another one of his game dogs. He said he don't know how his partner got, how Rum and them got out of their little things or whatever. But I guess Rum got out of his little kennel thing that he had and got to his game dog and killed his game dog. He said he came home and the dog was dead. His game dog was dead. Rum. And Rum blood all over his face. So he's like, damn, this nigga Rum is taking, he knocking off all my dogs. But he's not mad about it. He's sad because he liked the game dog. Like, he's kind of sad in the sense of the fact that one of his favorite game dogs just got killed. But then he's like, he's like more juiced about Rum. He getting juiced about Rum because Rum is that type of dog that I guess that he wanted to see. He liked that type of shit, but he's taking L's on the dogs. Like his dogs is getting knocked off. So then the crescendo to this story, which is the AR-15 Bandog story, right? And it's through my partner who actually has one that's mature. His name is Rum. He had his Rottweiler, which was his favorite, it was like his favorite dog, his Rottweiler, right? Good protection dog, nice dog. His name was what his name was? Not his name wasn't Hunter. I forgot his name. Anyway, this is the dog that was the dominant dog on his yard. This is Rock, and it was one of his favorite dogs. And he hits me up and is like, "Coach, man," he's like, "such and such," which is the Rottweiler. He's like, "Yo, man, what's name?" Kind of like checked Rum's daughter, this little puppy that Rum had with another dog or whatever, and then Rum like saw that energy and then attacked this Rottweiler when he started trying to attack the puppy, and attacked this Rottweiler. And then he showed me the video. That's the type of shit that's type of shit my dude be doing, man. He showed me the proof, man. He's like, he had to put it on video because he couldn't believe it. Like he didn't think that his Rottweiler would get handled by Rum, but man, he showed me the video. Like he said, man, Rum manhandled this nigga, man. And he showed me the video. He showed me the video. I'm like, wow, But for me, in the lab, it's like in my notes, even though I didn't know what was gonna come out, the note says it all. From AR15 and who he is, and then Tigress and who she is. I don't necessarily know from behind them because I didn't own Tigress's dad. I didn't own Tigress's mother, etc. I didn't know from behind. I can only go off of what I have. I know who AR15 is. I know he's top 2 assholes on my yard. Okay, him and Shaka tie. Number 1 assholes. What I mean by assholes, they want all the smoke from anything and everybody. They test me and they test all the dogs. So they the number 1 assholes on my yard. Okay, they test me every day and they test the dogs. Okay, so I'm like, okay, them two, okay, yeah, they whatever's gonna happen to them is gonna happen to them. They want it to happen. So I already know that, but to see hybrid vigor, okay, to see it by me taking notes from my consumer who bought one of my dogs, an AR15 Bandog, and to see a higher level of drive, a higher level of pain tolerance, a great level of understanding the on-off switch because the dog is still chill. Like he can take it out and he's not affected by anybody else, just like AR15. I can have somebody come over, and if your energy is in a threat, he'll let you pet him. AR15 will let you pet him if he doesn't see you energy-wise as a threat. You don't give a fuck. You can pet me. But if that dog turned on you, he'll kill you. Right? The dog will literally kill you if he turned on you because he's wanting to kill other animals. Like he wants to. Like he has a desire to kill. And not only that, I don't put my dogs in situations like that. Like I was telling y'all, I don't put my dogs in situations like that. However, I have a consumer that puts his dogs in situations like that, which I'm taking my notes from. Okay. And saying to myself, this is why I only let AR15 have yard time by himself. This is why, even though they understand how I want them to be when I'm around, if I'm not around, I will not have them together. I will not have somebody outside of me even have my dogs together because they're not going to respect him or her like they respect me. They know, my dogs know I don't tolerate it. I'm fucking them up. Okay? My dogs know they're getting fucked up if they do something wrong. Like I have so much power over my dogs that when I come around, I ain't even got to touch them. When I come out there, they've been like programmed since puppies from their pack experiment to know when I come out there and I come out there with that energy that I'm gonna fuck them up, they good in their corners and they break up, they get in their corner, they start bowing down like please don't fuck me up. My dogs know this. Like they know it. But see how my client does his dog, he encourages it because that's what he want to see. He want to see that. He like that. So he don't mind if he, gets a casualty here or there if the dog is showing him that this is the top dog. And so now that AR-15 Bandog, excuse me, who is named Red Rum, is his top dog. Okay. Now, another thing that he mentioned to me is before, like he was like, man, he's like cool with people. Like somebody can come up to me, he lets them. My Rottweiler, he don't let nobody come up to me. And I was like, well, you might want to teach him through agitation that people are okay for him to attack. Maybe that's what you will have to teach him if you want him to attack people now. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't do that with my dogs. I don't do agitation type work with my dogs. So I'm like, okay, I know that they have the capability of having man drive, but I don't provoke it, right? Because I don't want no liabilities on my yard. Okay. This is me. But if you want him to do that, maybe that's something that you should do in the future. Okay. Since your Rottweiler does it, but he's cool with people and stuff like that, maybe you might want to agitate him to where now, he can turn it on. But he said to me also that anybody who comes to his door, he's on them. So, which I know that's there in my dogs anyway. I know that's there. Anybody who come on my property that's new, that is a threat. And I know this through the AR-15 Bandogs that I have now. Not AR-15, but the puppies I have, which we'll get to after this. I don't want to get ahead of myself. But I told him, maybe you want to do some agitation work if you want to bring that man drive out of him. You know what I'm saying? But I told him about the dog's going to be what? 2. His dog will be 2 in August. So it's just turning 2. So I was like, bro, man, and I'm gonna tell anybody who gets a dog from me, like, bro, don't encourage that kill. Don't encourage that in these dogs unless you planning to use it, right? Don't encourage that type of mentality in a dog that's built like that. I built that dog, them dogs, my AR-15 Bandogs. I built them for that type of lifestyle, for that type of drive to want to kill. I built them for that. However, I still want them to have a brain with an on-off switch, right? I still want them to understand that they don't have to if it's not a threat. Don't make them feel like if I want to, I'm going to do it. Don't make a dog that is built like that because then you might not be able to control it. See? So anyway, now he wants to see the man drive. And so his buddies, they're into that protection type work, sleeve type work. And, he told me recently, like, hey, man, this boy Rum go crazy over a sleeve, like go crazy over a sleeve. And so he been doing sleeve work and bite work with him. And he said that boy Rum bit his decoy, his partner who's a decoy, and through the sleeve and through the bite suit, man, just like fucked him up pretty bad. Like bit him so hard through the damn bite suit and like fucked him up. And that's how hard his bite is. Like, you know what I mean? Like his boy don't even want to take the bite because he fucked him up pretty bad through the bite suit. And I was like, well, shit. I mean, I didn't breed them dogs for them to be sporting dogs. But, kind of like what I expected is like them dogs, when they bite, like I know the damage they do to each other. So I can imagine what they're going to do to a man, even through a fucking bite suit. So he's even confirming that. Like, bro, my partner, like, he couldn't take the bite through the bite suit. That boy Ron bit him so hard. And so he's showing me videos of him going crazy and over the bite suit. So now he's creating that man drive. So anyway, long story short with that, the essence of the AR-15 Bandog, right? Through my consumer who bought one, okay? The dogs are what I drew up in the lab. Okay, or at least his dog is. Maximum prey drive. Maximum prey drive. Kill zone. Kill zone prey drive. Not just hurt you, maul you, kill you. Pain tolerance. Okay, at the highest level. Okay, genetically, that's in that dog. On-off switch. Intelligence, brains, that's in that dog. I put that in that dog. Okay. Athleticism, I put that in that dog. Okay. So now I'm like, okay, boom. The dog turned out better than what I even expected because the dogs are bigger, which is good. I'm not trying to create the biggest dog. I still want my dogs to perform at a high level, you guys. So I'm not trying to produce the biggest dog, but bigger than the parents. And genetically, it made sense to me that they would be bigger than the parents, or at least some of them would. And that dog is. But its abilities, performance-wise, is what I wanted to see. And through my consumer's lens of his dog, I'm seeing it. Okay. So now I'm like, all right, the AR-15 Bandog is coming into itself. So then I decided to do the breeding again so that I can get a piece. And I also had a lot of consumers that didn't get a piece that wanted a piece too. So now I do the breeding again. I keep me some, I sell the rest. And now I'm seeing what these dogs are. Now, I do what I told my consumers to do, which is don't do anything with these dogs as far as like trying to turn them on for the first year. Like I'm teaching my dogs obedience and getting to know me, and I'm loving, like I'm doing what I'm telling my consumers do with the dogs. Love on your dogs, teach them obedience type stuff. So that's all I'm doing with my dogs. Okay, the AR-15 dogs that I have, band dogs that I have. However, through their pack experiment, I'm seeing what my consumer saw with Rum. But because I been teaching reconciliation, y'all understand that. Remember, I told y'all about that with my packs. I teach them how to reconcile. I teach them not to take it to that point where they're trying to kill each other. I teach them that. And I'm consistent in that. Now they have a politic understanding amongst their pack where they're not trying to kill each other, where in the beginning they were giving each other some serious damage when they would fight. Now they have a politic, which I taught them that. Okay. Now, when I hear them at that point, and they only do it when I'm around, thank God I told you that, because it's very competitive when I'm around. I can give them my call sign or my whistle, and they will get into a stalemate and they'll stop. But what I see differently from them versus AR-15, especially the males, is they don't like no strangers. The puppies. They don't like not one, I don't care who it is. Even my wife, they was checking my wife because she don't deal with them as much as me. Okay. They checking my wife at the fence when I had her come and help me deworm. They checking her. Like they want to get at her and tear her neck off. I'm like, man, you know what I mean? So of course, I make sure they understand who my wife is, because they're not going to do it with me there. But when she comes to the fence, they trying to get her, trying to bite her ass. So I'm seeing the genetics play out in front of my eyes, okay, of this, what I call an AR-15 Bandog myself. And these are young pups. They're not even a year yet. They'll be a year next month. August 20th, they'll be a year. The AR-15 Bandogs. So I'm seeing this play out right in front of my eyes. I'm like, okay. And I don't have to provoke this type of energy. You see a lot of dog trainers, they be provoking the aggression out of these dogs. They be provoking the bite. I don't have to do that when it's in the dog's genetic makeup. That's the point I was trying to tell my consumer. Like, bro, don't try to turn your dog on for the first year. Just love on it. It's in the dog. I cooked them up that way. I cooked them up for that level of performance. I cooked them up to be the ultimate personal property protection dog, not a sport dog. I don't cook my dogs to be sport dogs. I cook them to really protect. I put drives in them that is to the max. That means when they're turned on and they're motivated, they're going to take it to the limit. I put that in that dog genetically. I understand the power of hybrid vigor, That's why I do the crosses the way I do them, because I want everything to be heightened up. If I like the mom, I like the dad, I want the kids to be better than. That's why I do the cook-ups the way I do. It's still an experiment. I'm not God. I'm experimenting with genetics. I understand the concept of it, but I'm not God. I don't know what I'm going to produce. Only God does. Now, I know how valuable it is for me as the pack leader to develop the mind and the spirit of that dog. A lot of dog trainers don't talk about this. I'm not even a dog trainer. I'm just a dog god. I understand how important it is to make a dog love you, to make a dog respect you. I understand the power that you have over a dog when a dog loves you or respects you. You know why, you guys? Because I have so many dogs. I've experimented this concept with a lot of dogs from when they were born to however age. I've seen the power of that. Like just that dog wanting to be like you. And then seeing the other dogs who want to be like you and want to compete with them to be like you. The power of that. I see it every day. Where I ain't got to agitate a dog to make them mean. I got dogs that are just mean. They're not mean with me because they love me, but they're mean to each other. And then because I teach them the politics of what I want, they curb it. They curb it because they understand through that repetition of how I want them to act to not take it to the limit. So I don't need to do these things, right? With, let's say, an AR-15 Bandog to show me that this dog can kill. I don't need to do these things to show me that this dog will bite a human. I don't. Now that I have my own, they're showing me themselves who they are as they mature into themselves. And they're looking at me to see, is it okay for me to act like this, Dad? My dogs look at me like that. Is it okay for me to act like that? When I discipline them, they understand that I don't like what they're doing. They understand it. They look at me and their energy says it. Oh shit. Like it's like the dog will, the energy will tell you, like, oh shit, I know you're not happy with me. Yeah, I'm fighting with my brother and sister. This is what I do. I fight. But oh shit, daddy ain't liking that because now he's looking at me like he's gonna be hemming me up. And he's hemmed me up before, and I don't like it. Like, I don't like it. So they get in line, right? But as I'm assessing my notes and what this AR-15 Bandog is going to become. Now, mines are still young. So they got a lot of developing, a whole lot of developing to do. But as I'm watching my consumer, my client, his dog is about 2 years old. His dog is still developing too. But his dog is turning into something that I envisioned the AR-15 to possibly be. I didn't know what it was going to be, but I envisioned it to be one of my ultimate property and personal protection dogs with an on-off switch. That's not a liability. That also looks as good as it performs. That's what I envision. And that's what I'm seeing. Even in the young ones that I have, which have a lot of developing to do, I'm like, okay, this is going to be nice. Now watch this, you guys. As I have my dogs that I kept off for that AR-15 Bandog breeding, it has morphed into something else. The AR-15 Bandog for me. Okay. Now, I had a American Bulldog program that I wanted to start. And that was something that I like. I didn't even know the breed. I just was like American Bulldog. I kind of liked the way they were built. And I saw some really cool bully ones that I liked. I'm like, oh man, I'd love to see if I can make my own performance version of that. And that's how I got into it. Bought my female. I told you all my story. Bought my females, 3 females. Bought the semen, 3 American Bulldog semen males. I bought that from Buff Dogs, and I was going to start my own American Bulldog program. Okay. However, due to the market, due to me losing 2 of my females that I bought, only having Tigress, um, as far as like the American Bulldog market, you ain't getting no money for no damn American Bulldogs, and it's a business for me. So I'm like, I'm cool. I scrapped my American Bulldog program, and then of course breeding Tigress, because I had one American Bulldog female still. I still have my American Bulldog semen I ain't used, but breeding Tigress to AR15 with the ones that I decided to keep. I have some Bulldog type males that I have. So they don't look like AR15. They're kind of more on Tigress's side. They're like more on the American Bulldog. They're like Bulldog type, but just built for performance even more so. And then of course there's the different types of American Bulldog, but these is different. You know what I mean? Because AR15 is in the mix. So these are different. You know what I mean? Like these males that I have. So I'm like, okay, well now I started with the AR15 Bandog. I'm probably going to take AR15. I'm not probably. I'm going to collect his semen, store him up in my semen bank. But I probably will retire him unless I've decided, for whatever reason, to bring him back to Tigress one more time. If somebody, if that money talking, which could happen. You know what I'm saying? The money talk, I might do it for the third time. But at the same time, I got what I needed off of AR15. I probably won't continue with AR15 now that I have his sons. I'll just collect the semen, and if I want to bring him, do something else with him, I will. But I think now with his sons, the ones that I have, that's going to be the continuation. That's going to be the next level to who AR15 is, and then that's going to be where I'm going to be switching from the AR15 Bandogs. And if I'm going to be carrying the legacy on through the sons, I'm going to start. That's going to be my Bulldog line. Okay. So it's going to go from the AR15 Bandogs from the sons. And then I also got 2 females from that litter too. But they're going to be what I call my Formula One Bulldogs. So now I have my own version of a Bulldog, not an American Bulldog. These are more lethal than the American Bulldogs. These are more performance based than the American Bull. These are like structure is way better. This muscle tone, handsome, like these is next level. The color, all the shit, structures, everything on these. That's why this is formula. This is going to be my formula. These males, these AR15 Bandog males are going to carry on my Bulldog program because they more so have the Bulldog phenotype. Those 2 males. So now with my AR15 Bandogs, it's going to shift from AR15 doing his thing and blessing my clients, all the ones who got them. They got their AR15 Bandogs, even I got them. But now what I'm carrying on from now is now they're going to be the Formula One Bandog. So now the AR15 Bandog program transferred over to the Formula One Bandog program. So now I'm going to make my own Bulldog. Excuse me, not Bandog, Bulldog. Excuse me. So now I'm making my own Bulldogs using the AR15 Bandogs as my foundation. Okay. And then I'll probably run them into their sisters. And then boom, now I got my own Bulldog. But these Bulldogs is a little extra. These not a little extra. These Bulldogs are gonna have a lot more, a lot more performance, a lot more drive. Man drive, the looks, the colors, all the stuff that the consumers want is going to be in these Bulldogs right here. You know what I mean? So when I do establish them, and when they grow up and they on their show and tell, and everybody, yo, where can I get one of those from, coach? You know what I mean? Where'd you get that? What bloodline? You know how they like to ask you, I mean, if you guys aren't in tune with the consumers, they'll be asking you like, what bloodline, what line is not, this is my shit. This is mine. It's called a Formula One Bulldog. I cooked this up in the lab. The AR15 Bandog formula cooked these Formula One Bulldogs up. You want one of these that look like this, but then the looks is going to blow your mind, right? The looks of these dogs is going to blow their mind, period. I already know that. but the performance is going to have you just like you got to be on a high level to be able to handle the performance. Like these dogs is really built for all of it. Can breathe, is functional, has an aggressive build, but no dysplasia, great angulation, deep rib cage, tuck, muscle, even from the front. If it's got the wide front, the rears match. If it's wide in the front, the rear is matching the front. It's not no wide front with a small rear. Like everything complete. But not only that, they real life killers. Real life. That's what the AR-15 Bandog has become today, you guys. Okay? That's what the AR-15 Bandog, from inception of AR-15 being who he is, to me saying, okay, well, damn, Buff Dogs decided to take a Bulldog to their stuff. So I'm going to take a Bulldog to my stuff because I actually have one. Her name is Tigress. She with all the shit. He with all the shit. Let me see what I'm going to cook up off of this. Okay. Cook up my own Bandog that I'm selling to the public now. Okay. Boom. Get those 5 dogs. Okay. Post them. Instant sale. Couldn't keep none because everybody wanted them. Okay. Sold them all. Had my client who had them. Had one who's a real dog man. Got a lot of respect for him. Okay. Tells me the stories. We in contact to this day. And seeing Rum, amazing dog, by the way. Amazing dog. But has that killer in him that I put in that dog, that I promised him. I put maximum prey drive, maximum man drive in the genetics. That's in that genetics. That's what I promise you. Maximum prey, maximum man drive. Everything else, whatever happens, we gonna see. But I know that's in them dogs because I know that's in their mama. I know AR-15 is with all the smoke, but he has a sixth sense. Some dogs have that, where they have so much confidence that if you're not a threat, they're not gonna, they're not gonna press on you. They don't have that type of like, I gotta press on you regardless. Some dogs have that spirit. AR-15 is one of them. If you're not a threat, he will let you pet him. Period. Even though he's an intimidating dog, he is not gonna be, if a kid come by, he'll let a kid come by and pet him. Like, you're a kid, I'll kill you. Like you, when you've been around killer type dogs, some dogs have that aura. They're confident in who they are, and they don't need to exude that type of energy towards you if you're not a threat. AR-15 is that dog. Salute to him for that. That's that on-off switch. Okay. And I'm grateful that he has that, because I don't want liabilities, and I don't want to sell a liability to my clients. I don't want to sell liabilities because that reflects on me. Because I know what I'm putting in them. I know that I'm putting maximum prey, maximum man drive. I need that dog to understand when to use it and when not to. I need that dog to be okay with people, even though it will kill you. It can kill you. I need that dog to be okay with your family pets, even though it will eat it. Right? I need that in my dogs if I'm selling it to the public, especially when I'm cooking dogs like this. That's my specialty. I cook high performance dogs that are built for all of it. Especially if it's my band dogs, they built for all the smoke. And this AR-15 Bandog has proven so far, and I'm still learning mine because mine is still young, but through my customer, it's proven to me that the dog is built for everything and then some. And it's still good with his family and still good with his partners, and he can still take it to the vet. And the dog is confident like his daddy, where he ain't got to worry about the dog just going off on how he feel. Like, I want to bite somebody, or you're too close to me, let me bite you. The dog is stable, but a real life killer though. That is an AR-15 Bandog, you guys. Okay. I have another consumer that bought one from this particular breeding that I got my dogs from, this last one I did, because I only did it twice with AR-15 and Tigers. And he hit me up because he does a lot of sport work. Now, I didn't know when he reached out to me to buy the AR-15 Bandog that he was into sporting dogs. I didn't know that. He told me the dogs that he told me he had Rottweilers. So I knew he was a dog man like myself and like the other brother that would like performance dogs. He liked what I was doing with my program. He was a fan of my program. That's why he reached out to me. He wanted an AR-15 Bandog. I promised him the same thing that I promised my other consumer that I told y'all that has rum. Maximum prey, maximum man drive. That's why I put in these dogs. But your first year, don't do nothing but love on that dog, okay? Basic obedience, loving it. I told him, I tell everybody the same shit. Don't try to turn this dog on. Just love on it. Build your relationship. Socialize it, okay? Basic obedience. That's it. But at the same time, I didn't know he was a sporting dog, man. So what I mean by sporting dog, he does all the shits and all that IPO shit. So he wanted to do that with her, okay? So he reaches out to me around the same time as my other client did, around the same age. It was like, man, coach, he actually asked me if I wanted to, like, if I wanted her back or something, right? So I'm like, and I had to tell him, like, bro, I got, you know how many dogs I got? Not only that, like, I already have like her siblings that I kept, and they're not gonna have her over here. She been over there with you, they'll kill her. Like I guess I know my yard. Like, you ain't no dog gonna go to somebody else's energy, bring that energy to my yard and be okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, even when I told y'all with my Malinois, with my nephew's Malinois, I gotta put her in a 10x10 on her own. Because I know at the end of the day, like they'll fucking thrash that bitch. If I put her next to them in a kennel, they'll kill that bitch through the kennel. Like, you know what I mean? Like, my dogs ain't playing that shit. There's a different energy on my yard. You know what I'm saying? Like, my yard is too competitive. So I already told him, like, there is no way that she can come back here, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, even if you gave her back to me, like, I wouldn't take her back. Because I already know that she would be dead on my yard. The politics on my yards, they don't play outside energy like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, so anyway, I told him like that. I was like, nah, man, I don't want her back, bro. I said, well, you know what you need to do, man? I said, first and foremost, her not being in tune with like biting the sleeve and all that shit. I was like, to be real honest with you, I said, I don't breed my dogs for that. I told him straight up and down, like, I don't breed my dogs to bite toys. You know what I'm saying? But they'll bite you though. You know what I'm saying? They'll bite a human though. And then he showed me like a little video of her, doing hog work and shit like that, fucking up hogs and shit. Like, he showed me the drive. He's like, man, but I kind of want her to, be in tune with the, with the sporting shit. I was like, man, that's it. Like, I was like, bro, just use something else to motivate her. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta be creative with these dogs. If you want her to be in tune with that type of stuff, you gotta be creative. Take her with your little bull herder and take the bite sleeve and tie it to a lead and let her compete. I know all my dogs love to compete, so let her compete with that bull herder that you got to try to chase after that damn sleeve that you put on a little lead. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta be creative with these dogs. But I told him straight up and down, like, I was like, bro, I don't breed my dogs to play with toys, man. I mean, if they do, that's cool, but that's not what I put in that dog. That dog is a real killer, as you see how she do with the hogs and all the shit that you put her on. You know what I mean? Like, she not into the toys right now, but I say, just be patient. You gotta be patient. I told him that straight up down. Be patient. So check this out. Long story short, with that is, I have my client who has rum. I told him about the female, because he actually wanted that puppy, but she was sold. And I told him, hey man, my old boy is like, he was trying to give the puppy back to me. He's like, oh man, let me get it. Oh man, let me get at him. I want her. I'll take the bitch, because he want her now. He want her, because he wanted her before. He wanted to breed her to rum. So I told my consumer, hey, I got my dude. He said he'll trade you a Malinois, whatever like that. He'll trade you a sporting dog for that bitch. He wants your bitch. He said, all right, whatever. So anyway, they've been talking, and he sent me something like probably like a month ago before I connected him to my client that has rum of the bitch. Now she biting like a little strap or whatever. He got her strap. He got her on the strap, hanging on the strap, going crazy on the strap, swinging and hanging on the strap. And so I was like, oh, I guess she got some toy drive now, right? He was like, yeah. Man, she getting better. But like I said, and to me, in my mind, I'm thinking to myself like, bro, that's not like that dog ain't, like the toy. That's like how AR15 was in the beginning. Like I told you how AR15 was, which is her daddy, right? That was cool in the beginning with him and AK was biting on the spring pole, that shit. Over time, he understood like that's a toy. Like I don't want to bite no toy. I want to bite something. That's AR15 don't do that no more. You know what I mean? But I knew at the end of the day, it's like, you got to take the time. You got to work with your dog. You got to find what makes that dog tick. You got to motivate that dog. If you wanted to bite a sleeve on a person, you got to find a way to motivate that dog to bite that sleeve. You know what I mean? Some dogs just ain't into it like that. And obviously she wasn't into the game. She was into the real thing. So anyway, fast forward, I see a video on his stories, and he got her at the little place that he does all his little sporting stuff, but he got the guy over there doing agitation but no sleeve, and he ain't got no sleeve on there. He doing the real the real body type, putting the arm and the bitch trying to bite him, going crazy. And I was like, see, I said like, is that who I think it is? That's what I said to him when I made a little comment on the story. And he's like, yep. I said, see, remember I told you don't do nothing to that bitch for a year? That person that you had over there agitating her, she didn't have no sleeve on, didn't he? He's like, no. But she was going to bite the shit out of him, wasn't he? That bitch was ready to bite the shit out of him. Looking good. That bitch sexy as hell too, bro. That's one thing that AR-15 and Tigers do make is beautiful damn dogs, man. Okay, that dog looks sexy, muscled up, looking beautiful, man. But that bitch is serious about to bite that dude that he had agitating him. So now his whole energy shifted now, because now he doing that sporting stuff, but he see at the end of the day that the dog's really about that dog is not a sport dog. That dog is really about that. Like I put that in the dog to really be about that. And in reality, you don't want that dog to bite nobody. You can do what you want to do with your dog, but I don't want that dog to bite anybody, because if that dog bites somebody, it's gonna really hurt somebody. It's gonna crush some bones. It's gonna tear somebody's flesh up. It's going to probably try to really mutilate that person. Like it has that type of drive. It's not a Mal, right? It's not a German Shepherd. The police would not use my AR-15 Bandogs, because one bite from that type of dog will hurt somebody to the point of a lawsuit, right? You don't want that. You want the Mals with the softer mouths, the German Shepherds with the softer mouths that's going to bite somebody and it's going to put some puncture wounds on there, maybe fuck up a little bit of ligaments, but ain't going to crush no bones. You want them type of dogs for that type of work. That sport type shit, you want them type of dogs for that. But the dogs like an AR-15 Bandog, which we talking about tonight, which is going to crush, going to maim, going to get excited to the point where it might want to take it to the next level. Instead of biting you on your leg, might want to bite you in your neck or in your face. Okay, these dogs are different. So now he's seeing what he purchased. Now he's like, now that my partner reached out to him, my consumer, because he wanted to, trade him, he was going to work a deal with him. Now I think he's going to change his mind. Matter of fact, I know he changed his mind, because now he's seeing the dog do that sports shit, but the dog is doing it real though. She's not motivated by the sleeve. She's showing that she want to bite that person that's aggravating her. She's like her brothers do to strangers. They want to bite the person who they don't know. And, they're like, who are you? And you're not going to come and pet me. I'm going to bite you. See? That is the AR-15 Bandog that we talking about. That's why I cooked up in the lab from seeing AR-15, my first Bandog production. My first Bandog production, and his sisters. Those are my foundation dogs, not knowing what they were going to be. Watching AR15 grow up to who he is today, the number one asshole. Him and Shaka's Ty is the number one asshole on my yard. They want all the smoke with all animals. Okay. AR15, like I told you, tolerates people who are not a threat. That's the on-off switch. Okay, so salute to you, AR15, for being confident in the fact that, you know what, I can kill you, sir. I can kill you, ma'am. I can kill you, child. But you know what? You're not a threat. Come pet me. Come to my kennel. You can pet me. I'm fine, because I know at the end of the day, you're not a threat. Okay, but his kids, on the other hand, his two sons that I have, you can't come and walk up on them. They a little bit different than daddy. Okay. I don't do no agitation with any of my dogs. And I'm definitely not going to do it with them too. Them AR15 Bandogs, which will now be Formula One Bulldogs. Why do that with dogs who already want to do it? Why? Why encourage biting with a dog that I know that will bite you? Based off of my notes, will not only bite you, will probably eat you too. Based off of my notes, biting a decoy in the bite sleeve or the bite suit, causing damage, hurting the decoy through the bite suit because the bite force is so strong. Why would I encourage that as the one who created them dogs, when I already know through my notes that they can do it? I'm not going to encourage that. I don't need to teach a dog to bite. I know they will already. Me. I know they will. I don't need to teach them dogs to want to bite a human, because they already showed me that, hey, if it's not daddy and you're new, I don't know you, I'm going to bite you. I know they have prey drive because I've been nurturing their pack environment understanding since they were born. You see what I'm saying? Like, I've been nurturing that shit and teaching them not to kill each other. So I know they have that maximum prey drive. I see it. Okay. So now I just need to let them develop in who they are, still have the control over them. And then when I produce off of them, I have an idea through them and their siblings, and then AR15 and Tigers, what I'm going to have as far as the future offspring. Okay. So now the AR15 Bandog is a proven dog for me. Maximum prey drive in the notes, check. Maximum man drive in the notes, check. On-off switch in the notes, check. Okay. Visual, let's say curb appeal, in a sense, if you want to call it curb appeal, the visual where people like the way the dog looks, right? Even though they're mixed, Neapolitan Mastiff, German Boxer, American Bulldog, Game Pit Bull, then another American Bulldog. So they're a mixed breed, but that mix still has curb appeal to the consumer that are willing to pay me what I'm asking, even though it's my own dog, my own creation, right? The aesthetics of the dog phenotypically is appealing enough for you as a consumer to say, how much you want for that, coach? You want $3,000? Boom. I can't get that nowhere else. I like the way that looks, coach. I like the way that looks, coach. How much you want for that? $3,000? Well, I can't get that nowhere else, coach. So I'm going to pay it, because you have something that nobody else has. And I love the way it looks. And then you say it performs too? Coach, you say it performs too? Oh, shit, man. Let me get that. Let me run that. Okay. That's what an AR15 Bandog is today. Okay. Which is now going to be a Formula One Bulldog. That's what those are going to be now. That's what that shifted to. So there will be, unless I produce it again, No more AR-15 band dogs. The legacy will carry on through the offspring that I have, that I kept, which I know for sure will be better than AR-15, will be better than tigers. Because I can already see it, and they're young. You know what I'm saying? They're not even, they'll be a year on the 20th, but I can see it already in these puppies. I can see it like, oh, y'all gonna be the ones. And I'm just grateful that I understand the psyche of dealing with dogs that have high drive. I understand how important it is to love on these type of dogs and to nurture the on off switch. I understand that. I love it when I have a situation like, for example, when my wife has not been around them dogs, and they kind of, they get a little extra credit when it comes to my wife. Now, they know not to bite me, and they're not gonna bite my wife. But they're not used to her. Probably remember her when she was dealing with them when they was little 4-week-old puppies. But now they about a year old. My wife ain't dealing with it. I'm dealing with all the dogs. So now they kind of like, they being protective of me. But I like the fact that I could bring my wife in, and they're looking at me because they know I'm not going to allow them to do nothing to my wife. And looking at me like, okay, if I do something to mama, daddy's going to do something to us. So I got to make sure I got my eye on daddy to make sure that he ain't going to fuck us up if we want to try to do something to mama. And then they get that. I like that. I like that because that's a brain. I cook that up in that dog, right? The dog's awareness. I cook that up in that dog to know, like, to pay attention to these things. Like, I better not bite mama. I'm not really sure if I want to bite her, but daddy's right here, and he's giving me a look like I better not bite her. And they look at me like that. So in my lab notes, I'm checking it off. Oh, they got brains. They got brains. Even when my nephew come over, and I tell my nephew, just put your hand, that old school, put your hand down and just put it towards the kid, put it towards the towards their face. But of course, he's blocked by the kennel. Just put it up against it, but slowly. And they're attacking at the fence. But I make them put it up there close enough to where it's like, okay, and then they'll do it. But you can see them, they'll stop trying to hit the fence, and they'll kind of like snarl up. But it's the energy. They're using their brain. I like that. I put that in my notes. So now when I produce it again for the third time, if I ever do, I know what I'm getting. I know what I can I know when you're a consumer, you asking me, I'm telling you what you're going to get. Exactly what you're going to get. Because I got it here. I got the notes from my other consumers. I got AR-15. You see, I got tigers. I got it right there. I know what you're going to get. I don't necessarily know the phenotype you're going to get, but I know the temperament. I know its abilities, right? I know its smarts. I know all that. And so the future for me now with the Formula One Bulldog, okay, now I got something here. Now I got something to where before, when I was trying to get into American Bulldogs, y'all, and I was buying at the top, at the peak of the market of the American Bulldogs for what I wanted. So I paid the top price for an American Bulldogs for what I wanted. So that was $2,500, you guys, for an American Bulldog. That was top price for an American Bulldog. I paid that for Tigress, and I paid that for Tigress. I paid that for all my foundation bitches. I paid $2,500 for. That's the top peak price. You can get American Bulldog probably for like $1,000. Like ain't nobody check for no American Bulldogs. They ain't, you know what I'm saying? They ain't got that market appeal. But for these Formula One Bulldogs that I created, oh, they're gonna fetch top tier dollars. They're gonna fetch no less than 3,500. I know they will. I know they'll fetch no less than 3,500. For two reasons. The main one is that you cannot get these type of bulldogs from nobody but the coach. You cannot shop me for these type of dogs, man. When you see these dogs, and I got a black one, and y'all know how people love blacks, and then I got a fucking pink one. A pink one. Yeah, you heard me say it. I got a pink one. When you see these dogs, when they mature and you see the size and the muscle, and then if you're blessed enough to own one and see the abilities of it, then you're going to see why I'm going to get 3,500. Just off the fact that you ain't going to get that from nobody from me. You got, I mean, shit, you want that, you got to give them the coach. It's my shit. I made it. There was nobody's bloodline that I took their shit and was promoting their shit as mine. No, I made them. I cooked them up in the lab, experimental, hybrid vigor, all the shit, you know? And I produced something that's mine. And then, of course, you want that, right? As a consumer, you like, oh, I want one of those. So guess what? I need 3,500 for that, man. And I'm going to get it. And then when you are a real dog man, not to say that you're not, but if you are and you like to test your dogs, however you do them, then you're going to be like my consumer. And you might have other dogs that you might want to test my dogs with. And then you find out that my dogs dominate your other dogs. Because how I cook them, because I'm Formula One of this shit. People don't cook up dogs like the dog guy cook up dogs. They're not as meticulous as me. They're not as in tune with the DNA as me. They haven't spent as much money as I have spent and is spending. They're not me when it comes to this shit. I'm the head engineer when it comes to performance dogs. I am. So when you get a dog that is cooked up the way I cooked them up, you see the difference. Then if you have other dogs to compare it to, then you really get to see the difference. You're like, yo, this dog that coach gave me is like something that I ain't never experienced before. And it has an on-off switch. What? The dog is a killer, but it knows when to turn the kill switch off? I can have that dog socializing with kids and, you know, people. But that dog's a real life killer? What? How does somebody produce a dog like that? Not many people can produce a dog that's balanced, but is top tier predator, top number one predator, like number one killer, but is a lover too, right? Is a lover too. Is a lover too. You know why that dog is a lover too? Because you listen to the coach. You know how when you buy a car and it has a break-in period, it says, hey, don't go over this many, rev limiters for the first 1,000 miles. You listen to the coach when you bought a dog from him. Coach said, do not turn this dog on for the first year. That's what the coach told you. Love on this dog for the first year. Socialize it and love on it. You got a killer. You don't need to push the killer button. You don't need to push the red button on this dog. Coach says, socialize the dog. Take it places. Let people pet it. Let it be, let it be soft. Because when that dog develops, as coach told you, all its genetic components that I put in it will come out. And if you are not ready to turn that damn dog off, you don't understand how to turn that dog off, and that dog turn on where you have no control, man, you got liability, man. Take it, man, take your L. It's going to be a major one. Whether it be a lawsuit, whether it be, a kid getting mauled, whether it be somebody in your family getting injured, whether it be you take your L. If you don't listen to me when it comes to my dogs. This AR15 Bandog, which we're talking about tonight, is that level of dog. where be thankful that that dog can do all the things that we've talked about. But at the same time, be thankful that that dog is good and loving and doesn't have to be that way. It doesn't have to kill. It doesn't have to bite. Be grateful that that dog doesn't have to. Be grateful that when people see that dog, they're intimidated by the dog when they see it. But the dog ain't even worried about that person. The dog ain't barking at it or nothing. The dog's like, oh, you're a pussy. You're scared. I'm not going to bark at you. You're a pussy. Excuse my language. But the dog can sense it. So you're scared of me. Now, if the other energy is different, right? You got a person around that think he's machismo, dog sense that too. And then, it might be a challenge that you got to worry about. Might have to take that dog, your dog who can sense something that you might not be seeing, and say, okay, I got to put this dog up. I got to put this dog up. Like, you might have to do that with my dogs. So in closing, the AR-15 Bandog has morphed. Okay. It was a concept dog. Started out with AR-15. Right? From AR-15, I had to learn who AR-15 was genetically, phenotypically, genotypically, because he was a concept. Then he showed me who he was as he matured. And he showed me that, you know what? He was a dog that was really about what he was bred for, which is prey drive. Man drive is in there, but at the same time, there's no man for him to be tested with. Everybody who come on my property is family. He knows that in his awareness as a dog, and he's not threatened by them. So my nephew can come and pet him. My dad can come and pet him. My wife, you can probably come and pet him. He is aware of himself. So I've never had to test this man drive. However, I know it's in him. He's not a bitch. Okay. Then from that understanding of who AR-15 is, like I said, we cooked him up with Tigress. Tigress is all about prey drive. She's like a pit bull that is an American bulldog. She's one of them. She's like a Holy Spirit, but I've never put her in a scenario like how Holy Spirit puts herself in scenarios. I've never put Tigress in a scenario. Okay. I put her next to dogs that she can antagonize, but at the same time, the other dog ain't going to, be fazed by her. Like, I put her in situations where she ain't got to be in no action, but I know she's with all the ships. Tigress is. And I know what's behind her phenotypically. I want those characteristics that is her daddy. I really want it what her daddy is. So I know I'm going to get something of that sort. I'm going to get that athleticism, that prey drive, and hopefully that phenotype of her daddy. I cook them up. Boom. AR-15, Tigress. Then we get an AR-15 Bandog, which is an amazing dog. Great looking dog. Great looking dog. But it's really with all the shit I put in it. All the high performance genetic characteristics that I put in them dogs genetically is in them puppies. And an on-off switch. No liabilities for my consumers. Okay. My consumers can handle that dog. So I'm proud of that. I'm proud of that. Now I have my generation, which is now going to be the Formula One Bulldogs. That is them. That is who they are now. That's what they are going to become. The AR-15 Bandog has discontinued, now has morphed into the Formula One Bulldog. Excuse me. I don't know if I said Bandog or Bulldog, but if I did say Bandog, I'm correcting myself. Formula One Bulldog. Okay, I have a Formula One Bandog. We talk about that. It's another episode. But the Formula One Bulldog has now manifested itself through the AR-15 Bandog lineage. And now here is the future. Okay, which is the Formula One Bulldog. So now here's my vision. Y'all heard the formula. Y'all see the outcome. You see the genetic characteristics. Okay. You're going to see the future with the ones that I have. Okay, right now they're young. I'm not, I don't need to showcase young dogs. They're young. As they get more mature, you'll start to see them. But right now, they're in their development stages. But you'll see what I'm talking about. Okay. And this is what this is about as far as us as dog men and dog women who are in tune with being pioneers and want to create their own. Okay. I hope I inspire you to get in your lab and cook up your own shit. Okay. Because that's how breeds are made. People like myself who have a vision and they get in the lab, start cooking up different breeds to the point where they finally create a breed. And I'm not trying to create a breed. I like hybrid vigor. I told y'all that. I like variance in my dogs. I like it because I want my dogs to be better every time I cook. I don't want them to be the same. I don't want a 2024 to look like a 2030. Me personally. Maybe you do. I don't. I want it to be better. Every year, I want it better. That's how they do cars. I want my dogs like that. Every year is a new model. Boop, boop, better, better, faster, stronger, better. So I understand how to cook up like that to make my dogs better, better, bigger, stronger, faster, better. And so with us having our conversation tonight on this lab talk about the AR-15 Bandog, I hope you get an understanding of my vision and what I've produced so far. And for those of you who have it, I know my family over there, Abla Bang Bang, he's got an AR-15 Bandog. He actually has a Formula One Bandog too, but so he's getting to watch his develop in front of his eyes too. Okay. But at the same time, you guys get to live through me, through what I have. And then if you also want something in the future, once I start offering it back to the public again, you get a chance to experience the level, right? The level of my type dogs. Why I am considered the dog god. Why I am good at what I do when it comes to creating and engineering dogs. Why I am the Formula One of this shit. Because this is my passion. My passion is creating dogs, not just dogs. Creating dogs, understanding the psyche and the spirit and the functionality of dogs, understanding the power of hybrid vigor, understanding what visually is appealing to the consumer who wants to pay for a dog like that. See, because it's a business for me. It's not a hobby anymore. We talked about that a long time ago. This ain't a hobby for me no more, okay? I'm hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt for dogs. So I need to make money. So it has to make sense business-wise. So me in the lab, I have to make it all make sense. It just can't be an experiment and, it don't work, throw it in the trash. Right? My hypotheses got to make sense to equal my conclusion. So when I'm in the lab, like we talked about earlier with the AR-15 Bandog, when I'm drawing it up first, it's got to make sense. It ain't no fucking, okay, let me roll the dice and be Stevie Wonder and roll it. No. I'm rolling the dice, but I'm feeling the numbers in my hands as I'm rolling them. Hit. And then when the dice fall and we assess what hit, then it needs to make sense, you guys. The AR-15 Bandog, which is now the Formula One Bulldog, makes sense. And you guys will see, now that I have a piece of that, you guys will see through me what makes sense. You're going to see it like, oh shit, coach wasn't bullshitting. Coach was real when he said them dogs is going to be like, look at them, look, he said them dogs is going to be this, that. Look, like that's what it's about for me. As I'm taking my notes, like check, 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 I want you guys who support me, who've been watching, be like, yep, coach did say that. Check. Yep, coach did say this. Check. See what I mean? Like that's what I want from you guys watching, listening, taking your own notes, applying it to your own program. Like, oh, coach did say that shit should work. Yep, coach said this. Yep, it worked. Yep, coach wasn't selling us no wolf team. He wasn't lying about that. No, it worked. I want y'all to be that, feel that, be inspired by what we're talking about. Not being afraid to be a pioneer when it comes to your dogs, man. Don't let other people from the outside tell you, oh, there ain't no such thing as this. Oh, you can't do that. Oh, your dog is it. Don't let no other people from the side, them spectators tell you how to do what you're doing in the field. You know, if they want to make other people's dogs, let them do that. That's fine. We ain't going to hate on them. You know what I mean? You want to make somebody else's blood? Do you? But over here, you know, we engineers over here. You like me, I'm an engineer, man. I'm a creator. You know what I mean? I assist the Most High God. See what I'm saying? I assist God. God is God. I'm his assistant. You know what I'm saying? God says, pass me the scalp. I pass him the scalp. I'm the assistant. So I'm just over here, you know, manipulating what God already created. But that's where my passion lies because, like I said, as a business, when I create that type dog that you see as a dog enthusiast and you're like, I want that. Guess what? You know, guess what, my man? Guess what, my lady? I got it for you. And guess what? You can't get it nowhere else but from me because I made this. I cooked this up. And before I close out, it kind of ties into my pit bulls. Okay. How they love to tell me there ain't no such thing as an XL pit bull Draco. And when I cook up the double XL pit bull choppers, they're going to say, there ain't no such thing as that. Well, yes, there is because I made them. When my dogs that I made become popular, it's mine. I didn't ride nobody else's coat wave. I didn't ride nobody else's legacy. It's my legacy. So when those dogs that are called XL Pit Bull Dracos become popular to people who want them type of bulldogs, guess who's going to get the credit for those type of dogs? It's going to be me, the dog guy. And that's not to be braggadocious about it. It's the fact that that is what we're here to do. We're here to create our own legacies, y'all. Be inspired by that, right? Salute the ones who came before us, because we always going to show respect. But at the same time, you should be creating your own legacy as a dog man or a dog woman. You should be creating your own line of dogs, type of dogs. You should be inspired by that. So that when you pass, right, you leave the planet, guess what? Your dogs can live on and supersede you. And they'll be talking about you and what you've established through your dogs. Not, okay, I took what somebody else was doing and, you know, I made them famous off their shit. You know what I mean? All my hard work made their line famous. Why? Spend the money, buy their genetics. If you respect their genetics, spend the money, buy the genetics, and use it as a car part or a dog part to add to your program so that you can build your program up off of what they built. That's what you do. That's why we like hybrid vigor. I could take something from you that I ain't got and add it to my line, make my line better. That's what we should be on. That's what I'm on. That's why y'all always hear me say, got DNA, I do. You hear me say that all the time, don't y'all? Everybody who follow me know I say it. Could I spend the money for the DNA so I can add it like a car part, but it's just a dog genetic parts for me to my program, and I can cook with it. Thank you. You know how much you want for that? 10,000? Oh man, that's a lot of money, but I need that. I need that. I need that. I know I can do a lot with that. I like what you did with that, man. Okay, cool. Give me that. Boom, 10,000. Boom. Now I got his parts in my genetics. Hybrid Vigors is going to make it better than what he even had because I know how to cook it up. So, boom. Thank you. You know what I mean? Your dog just made my dogs better than even your dogs. See how that works, y'all? So, anyway, let me give y'all a shout out. I just wanted to let y'all in, excuse me, to the AR15 High Performance Bandog. I'm very proud of that Bandog. I'm very proud of AR15, even though he's an asshole. I'm very proud of Tigress, who has become a freaking amazing fucking mother as far as what she produces. Like I never thought that she would produce what she has produced for me so far. She's produced some beautiful dolls, and they're the real deal, man. She has produced some beautiful dolls. She gave me a rainbow bright color. I don't care about color. Y'all know that I don't care about, but I know the consumers do. But she gives me a rainbow package of dogs. She gives me pink dogs, purple dogs, black dogs, yellow brindle dogs, red brindle dogs, reverse blue brindle with the pink. Like, man, she give me all, I mean, the color she gives me, salute to Tigress and AR15 for those high performance AR15 bandos. And the major part, the most important part for me with those AR15 bandos is the high performance, the maximum prey and man drive. That's what I put in them. That's what I envisioned. That's what they got. So all the other stuff that I have with them dogs are extra credit. But you'll see with the ones that I have, and all the ones, Abla, you're gonna see with your bitch. You already seeing with your bitch, Abla. You know what I'm saying? You seen that bitch already naturally ripped up and muscled out, perfect structure. You already seen that with yours, Abla. I mean, that bitch is a young girl that muscled out like she's a bodybuilder. That's genetics, man. That's in the DNA. I cooked that up. You know what I mean? I cooked that in that dog. You know what I mean? So let me give everybody a shout out. Like I always do, I'll make sure I go and tap into you guys' questions in the chat or whatever. But like I said, I just wanted to cook up with you guys on that, let y'all in the lab. I'm very proud of that AR15 Bandog cook up, man. Beautiful dogs, the real deal. And to whoever has them dogs, man, you guys got some good shit, man. Trust me, and I'm sure you guys will concur. I'm sure you guys will see it as I'm seeing it. But yeah, man, and it just inspires me to keep doing what I'm doing. So it's a lot of hard work, man. I'm telling y'all, it's a lot of hard work, a lot of sacrifice. But it's gonna all pay off in the end, man. Because I got some good cookups for y'all, man. Like I told y'all just, the consumers just gotta respect my price. Y'all want them type of dogs? I got them. Ain't nobody got them like me. I say that humbly. They ain't got dogs like me. I spent the money. I know what I was paid for. I got the dogs. And nobody know how to cook them up like me. That's why we have these lives. I'm telling y'all how to cook them up. I'm sharing you guys how. I don't even have to do that, but I do it because I want to see everybody win. But you got to be able to put that work, and more work 3 times in like I do. You got to put that blood, sweat, and tears in like I do. Okay. If you want to produce a next level type dog, if you want to really put your stamp on the dog game, you got to be a pioneer like I am. So big shout out again to Duracio pole position. Young Ready Red. Hey, close second. You know what I mean? Big salute to you, Young Red. Bill, big salute to your family. Much love and respect, man. Jerry Hurley, man. Big salute to your family. Thank you for showing up again and supporting your boy, man. Show enough, man. I appreciate you showing enough. Much love and respect. I thank you for showing up and supporting your boy, man. Avla bang bang, man. Big salute to your family. Thank you for your support. Okay, I'm back. Technical difficulties. I'm back. But hey, Job, big salute to your family. You know what I mean? Thank you for showing up, man. Appreciate your support. And let me see if anybody got any questions. I'm going to answer that. Apologize for the technical difficulty, man. I just Hit the wrong button. You know how it goes. Let's see what we got here. I already know what you're talking about, Bill. Bill says sometimes you got to whip that ass. I mean, with these dogs, I mean, it's a must. If not, they're gonna run over you. You know what I mean? Like you gotta treat them like how they treat each other. They discipline each other. We gotta discipline them too. It makes sense. If you don't, you're gonna get ran over. You're gonna have a unruly yard, have kennel accidents and all kind of crazy stuff going on. Let's see what we got here. Okay, so young lady asked me with the mouse. So you said she didn't show you anything of value. Okay, so with the Mal, I haven't had a chance to really test her yet. You know, I haven't because it's hot. One, really hot, so I haven't really had a chance to really interact with her. Plus, I want her to kind of get comfortable with the energy and the environment that she's in because it's very hostile. It's very hostile. My kennel environment is very hostile. You know, like I said, I compare it to like being on a prison yard. You know what I mean? With killers, man, straight up and down. So my yard is very hostile, and I want her to get comfortable with the energy first before I really start like pushing her and testing her and stuff like that, and comfortable with me. And so she is getting more comfortable with me, like I was saying. Like she greets me when I come in. She lets me, like ground her out with the finger in her ear. Like, she looks for me when I come in. So she's getting comfortable with that. And then also she's understanding the dynamics of the yard. So once she gets fully um adjusted, then I will start testing her. You know what I mean? Like seeing what she is capable of as far as performance wise. But right now I'm not putting no pressure on her, young ready red. That makes sense. Okay, and then I know Bill was talking about when I was talking about that mountain wall. Yeah, man, that would be some heat, and that's the same thing my nephew was saying about Shaka and the mountain wall. Bill is that would be some heat, and I feel that he's right about that. I just, my thing, like I was just saying, is like I got so many just different prototype type dogs that are just really on that level, like on that level where it really can make a difference in the game of performance dogs. But I just gotta get paid for it, man. Like I just, man, I it's just too good. You know what I'm saying, Bill? Like it's too good. It's like selling a custom Rolls Royce for cats who don't have the money. Like, right, I'm not gonna build that shit if y'all ain't got no damn buyers for that. You know, I can't do that. Make that level of dog and oh, coach, all I got is $100. Like, nigga, get out of here, nigga. So no, but yeah, that would be fire for sure. Maybe one of these days, man. One of these days. Shonuff says, Coach, what is the most you pay for a puppy? I mean, I paid $15,000 for a fluffy Frenchie. Um, I paid $12,000 for AK. I paid $10,000 for Goat. I paid $10,000 for a bitch named Rain. I paid 10,000. Man, I mean, shit. Do I gotta keep going? Sure enough, do I gotta keep going? So when it comes to dogs, some of them were some of them were worth the money. Most of them weren't worth the money. I'm gonna keep it real with you on that too. You know what I mean? Probably shit. Only two, and maybe only one was worth the full price, but that's AK. And then Shaka, I mean not Shaka, but um, Goat would be um, like 10,000. Goat probably, I mean, Goat probably would be worth 7,000. You know, genetically. You feel what I'm saying? I like Goat, but genetically he wasn't worth 10,000. AK was worth. He's actually worth more than what I paid. So, but out of all the other ones, they weren't worth it. I'll tell you that. All the other ones I spent all that type of money on, they wasn't worth that shit. But I paid a lot of money for dogs. Period. Um, And then Abla Bang Bang said, "Yeah, my AR-15 female got that beast in her. I thought she was soft at first too." Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, shit. You guys got to understand, y'all dealing with puppies, man. Like, and in reality too, like real talk, you don't want to see that in them dogs, brother. Like, you really don't want to see that killer, man, because it might not be something you can handle. That's reality. That's why I say, love on that dog, man. Let it be cool. Let it be, let it be soft, and if you want to call it that, because the dogs really, they're not really soft when it comes to what it's bred to do. And then also what I'll do for you, Abla, is I'll send you the owner of Rum's IG, and you can communicate with him and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Let him know that you got one of Rum's sisters, and he'll, you know what I'm saying? He'll show you. He got little pictures of Rum and stuff on his site. So I'll link you on IG, Abla, with him. You feel me? So I'll make sure you good on that one. Pump 17, man. Big salute to you, Pump 17. He said, if someone asking 5K for a working pup, do you think the parents should have some type of title or something? No, no. Like I said, me, I don't breed for sport. So I don't expect the dogs that I'm purchasing to be sporting, like sport type dogs. I just look for the genetics, which is athleticism, drive. You see what I'm saying? Like, I look for the dog's genetic characteristics, because those are parts for me genetically that I can add to my dogs in my program. So whether the dog's is titled or not, that just boils down to, if how good are you as a trainer? Because like I said, there are trainers out there that really don't know how to bring the best out of dogs. They're so, I wouldn't even say they're so basic, but they're so like they're very cookie cutter in their training techniques. So if the dogs aren't showing them something right away, then they just throw the dogs out. Like, oh, that dog ain't gonna work. Whereas, like, bro, like in reality, like, you never tapped into that dog to begin with to bring it out. Like, you've never really tapped into the dog psyche to bring out the best in that dog. That dog doesn't want to work for you at a maximum level. You know what I mean? So if the dog, let's say, if the dog is not titled, but the dog has a lot of genetic characteristics that I like, then I'll spend that money, because a lot of the dogs that I bought that was over 5,000, they weren't titled in anything. It was just all about what I can get genetically from them that I can add to my program, if that makes sense, Pump. Like, that's what I was paying for. And that's why I was saying the dogs I spent a lot of money on, I didn't receive that genetically in the offspring. Only one that I really did was AK. And then, like I said, um, he gave me some of the things that I was looking for. Janae. That's why I say he's probably worth maybe 7 or 8, but not 10. AK was worth more than what I paid for him, and I paid a lot, which is 12, because he's producing phenomenal dogs for me. AK is, and he's a phenomenal dog himself. So um, hopefully I answered your question, Pump 17. They don't have to be titled for me, because I don't look for that. I don't look for sporting dogs. I look for what genetics can that dog give me, you know, because I want that. I want the genetics. I don't care about if it's titled or not. Da, 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 da. Okay, and Bill said I should have gotten some of that Jaws blood when I had the chance. I mean, in reality, shit, Bill, if you got a couple of dollars, man, I got shit, still three sisters. I'll sell you one of them, because I don't need three sisters, man. You know what I mean? So if you do want some, you got a couple of dollars, holla at me, man. I'll let you get some. I got some, I got something to spare you if you want something. You feel me, Bill? So let's see. Bill said, let's keep making these real XL pit bulls and bandos. Facts. Facts. You already know I'm with you. I'm with you on that, Bill. You know what I mean? I'm gonna stay pioneering. And, like I said, we here, man. We family build. So anything you need from me as far as any type of whatever, I'm here, man. Because, any ideas you want to, holler at me about, you know, I mean, shit, I'm here for you, brother. You know what I mean? I would love to see you, reach the goals that you have for your program, in any way that I can help you out. I'm here for you, family, real shit. So big salute to you on that. But yeah, man. So again, thank you guys for showing up tonight. Thank you guys for understanding 4th of July, why I wasn't here, but we're back to our regular scheduled program. Hopefully you understood the AR15 High Performance Bandog, my vision behind it, what they've produced, what they have become now, which is the Formula One Bulldog. And yeah, man, we'll do more of this lab talk type stuff so you can kind of get into my mind and how I really cook up these dogs, you know what I mean? And hopefully, like I said, I can inspire you guys to do the same, with your dogs. And hopefully you'll get to see the results that I'm seeing, at the end of the day, which I know you will. You see what I'm saying? Like, I know you will see the results. You just gotta just follow it, you know what I'm saying, and not be afraid to experiment in the lab. But make sure that your experiments is calculated. We're not random in the lab. You see what I'm saying? Like, we really doing our mathematics and drawing it out. And by the laws of averages of what we're drawing out, we should get something remotely close to what we cooked up. You see what I'm saying? So that's how we operate. But again, I appreciate you guys. Thank you guys for showing up. Stay tuned next time. You know what I mean? I'll have a good cook up for us again. But like I said, I appreciate you guys. Love y'all. Respect y'all. Until next Thursday night, man. I'm out.